Above you, you also noticed that the wind began to pick up and thunder began to rumble as a storm was conjured and began to extinguish some of the rampant flames that still burns the branches. As you all made it to the bottom, the gorilla and elemental tumbled after you, and the gorilla appeared victorious, and you witnessed as Vola began to return to her orcish form. The gorilla then eyeballed both of you, and it too dropped its wild shape, revealing itself to be Lortar, the village's chief. You were all able to join back together at this time, and Lortar was eventually rejoined by his partner, Sutha, the one who had conjured the storm. You saw her kind of communicating with the chief back and forth, and in a moment of intense anger from the chief, Sutha was able to calm him by signing to him. And Bernie, you were able to recognize the sign language, and you found a means to be able to communicate with the chief's partner, with Sutha. And she offered an apology to you all, suggesting that they may have mishandled receiving strangers to their village for the first time in a long time. And also seeming to suggest that things were a little tense between the elders and the chief. As reparations for some of the injustice believed to have been suffered by you all, they invited you all to stay the night in the chief's private quarters, to rest and to recover. At this point, it's pretty late into the night, well after midnight, around 1 or 2 a.m. And I think things are a little tense. It has not been the most welcoming invitation into this village. But for now, there does seem to be at least an attempt at peace, or if at the very least a ceasefire. And you have been invited to stay in the chief's quarters if you wish, or if you want, you can just leave. They realize that they've held you here for longer than you'd probably desired, and in circumstances, again, less than desirable. But the choice is yours.
I think the last time have we mentioned to them that I think we decided to stay, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I thought so as well, but I couldn't really remember.
I think I brought up the point of better to know the enemy we know than what we don't know in the forest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right then, so is there a place where we can wash up? Or I don't think I've taken a right bath in a few days now.
Sutha signs for you to follow them, and you all begin making your way up the tree, following the path that has kind of been built and circles around the massive trunk of it. It's late. Most of the village is sleepy at this point. And save for like the sounds of night birds and insects, it's pretty quiet as you make your way pretty high up to the tree, walking for several minutes. Eventually, you see this kind of beautiful bungalow before you. But yeah, go ahead, Bernie.
I was just gonna say, as we're walking up the tree, can I kind of just take a quick look around and just see like if there's people out or citizens, of this village, or like what's the vibe, like are they like
Sure.
aggressive? Is it suspicious? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's super early in the morning. So again, I think it's like a really sleepy vibe, I think, right now. You can see several structures and like the branches sprawled out as you climb this tree above and below you. And there might be like soft candlelight in one out of every like 12 shelters you see. I think walking with you is like the chief, his partner, and maybe just like a small group of like loyalists, like two or three other orcs that would be somewhere between like guards and hand servants. You know what I mean? They're like
Hmm.
they're not like fully decked out like, but there's like an element of like, oh, these, this guy's got some import. Well, no matter where he goes, there's like a small group kind of following with him.
Hmm.
Um and everyone's quiet, sleepy. You can hear the chief and Sutha, Lortar and Sutha kind of whispering back and forth a little bit in Orcish to one another. Um, and if you want to, because I don't think you speak Orcish, but you can roll me an insight check as you're kind of listening to them just communicate.
The
And I think even like maybe halfway up the tree, the chief like
Nice.
dismisses the other orcs following you. Like at a certain point, he's like, "It's late. Go home, get some sleep."
hmm
And like you can't understand it, but you get the kind of gist of it.
Yeah,
And they peel off, and then it's just like you and the chief and his partner.
gotcha.
And so there's like, it doesn't feel so much like you're being um led or
Yeah,
yeah.
like escorted or like yeah,
Right. It's just kind of like a, hey, are you okay? And he's like, I've got this. Like I think at this point we're all just going to bed.
yeah. Cool. I rolled a 19 for insight.
um
Ooh.
cool. So with a 19, here actually I'm gonna wait for it to see what you get. Okay, cool. I think they're tired and they're confident that the language they're speaking kind of masks uh enough of it that they're letting a little bit of their guard down in this moment, Bernie.
Mhm, mhm.
A 19's pretty high, and I rolled a 5. So the conversation is soft, um, but you can tell there's a seriousness to it. It's heavy, but you watch these two individuals discuss a heavy topic that you can tell is a stressful thing for them,
Mm.
but there's a tenderness in the way they talk to one another, and you can tell there is a deep respect and love between these two orcs as they
Cool.
talk about this and are kind of um I'll say even with a 19, you can tell that Sutha's counsel and advice in this moment is weighing heavily on Lortar, and in the sense that he is heeding it and really listening it and really challenging himself to 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 listen to what she has to say in this moment.
Mhm.
um and and in that moment you see that like something big is happening here, even if you don't truly understand it,
Mhm. Gotcha.
like specifically with your arrival.
Okay. 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 Gotcha. Okay.
And as you make your way to the top, you see this um kind of large like bungalow, like uh, what's that, was it was it Jumanji when they find like the remake one with The Rock where they find like Robin Williams' treehouse when he got sucked into the game? I don't know.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
deep
yeah, yeah,
pool, but
yeah.
it's like it's
And then
you know
like
it's
one of the Jonas Brothers was in there, and he was the pilot or whatever.
I think
Yeah,
so. Yes. Oh God. um,
yeah, good times.
but so it's kind of an open air structure. Like the main like foyer and like kind of like porch and like main hallway is all kind of open air, but then there are these rooms off the side that do have some like shelter to them. So it's kind of this combination between being open and secluded off.
Mhm.
Um And it's very, Ewok Village. It's very treehouse coded, so it's a lot of lumber, a lot of ropes, and like, although the path you have taken basically felt like a road, even the branches you walked are so wide it feels like walking on a road. You can see even in the darkness like ropes in various points where members of the village still, even though walking is accessible, there are parts where they can choose to climb and swing and have these other, methods of transportation. And Bernie, I think a lot of this is probably very similar to, you know, your own home. Um, I think maybe the architecture and various elements might be different in those ways, but I think there is a lot of parallels to living in a massive tree. And um, as they walk you in, they show you where there is like kind of a spare room with bedding, where you can rest for the night. There's like a balcony in the back where like vines grow up into it and food and fruits grow off of it, um, that you can help yourself. That's this kind of like open air lounge in the back. There's a what looks like conference room, kind of across the hall from and like down the hallway from where your bedding is, where there's like a bar where you can see sometimes maybe they like have like people over for dinner, or maybe they have, important meetings here. But there is like a cabinet with like some wine, some like casks of wine in it, that they offer to you as well. And then there's like one room where like several like
Oh, thank you.
shoots and leaves
Mhm.
all come together to like catch big, large like basins of rainwater. And there's like a series of ropes you can pull to release some of it, and it'll drain down. And there's like a basically a room where you can like release the rainwater and wash yourself on. Um,
Cool.
and they say that it may be a little cool. Usually, they will like use fire magic to kind of warm it
Oh, cool.
for
Yeah, yeah,
themselves. So
yeah.
there's no like mechanical way to do it. But there is a way to wash yourself that might be a little chilly, but you could take like a cold shower unless you have magical ways to warm it yourself.
Gotcha.
Um, and they kind of show you all of this on like the ground floor, and Sutha kind of signs to you, Bernie, as your only means of communication. Um, I'm sure you have plenty of questions for us, and if you would allow it, we have some we would like to ask. Um, ask, not force, on you. Um, but please make yourselves comfortable, rest, and if you need anything, we'll be upstairs. And there is like this kind of winding staircase in the center where part of it is covered that wraps up and leads to more private rooms that seem to belong to the chief and his partner, Sutha. So unless there's anything, Bernie, you want to ask them specifically, they're letting you basically have free roam of this bottom floor that they've kind of all walked you through and given you like a small tour of
Cool.
as you've gotten here.
Yeah,
And
I
as they're
think
finishing up this tour, they're kind of saying goodnight. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I think I just signed back, we appreciate your hospitality. I know it's been a rough start, but let's talk more in the morning. I'm sure there's a much common ground to be had. And then, as a final note, I'm just gonna ask in sign language. Do you speak Druidic?
Um, ooh, that's interesting. Uh, what is Druidic? How does the what is the language Druidic to you, Bernie? Is it an actual language, or is it like a series of
Mm,
symbols and codes to communicate and like pass information? Right? Because like thieves' camp,
yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
yeah,
may not necessarily
yeah,
be a language. It might just be like a series of symbols to know what places to rob and what places to avoid. So yeah, what
yeah.
does Druidic mean to you?
Oh man. I think originally it kind of felt like it kind of feels like an ancient language that was kind of spread throughout the world, like when Druids first started coming up and coming about. I think in my brain it is kind of like a language, but it's a very, very old and like natural language that's almost like built from the sounds of the world around us. It's like soft hushes of winds and like rest. It's almost like a combination, I think, of like a sign language and a speaking or noise language. Does that make sense? Where it's like using, yeah, like using all these different elements to kind of build the language together, but it's very old.
Interesting. So I think like when you like commune with nature and receives its messages, that would be like a form of druidic.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Or like art, maybe even when you speak with animals, is that
yeah,
a form of druidic too? Like it's something that is so old that like old things of the earth understand inherently. Like it's the language of the earth
yeah. I
or
think
whatever we
so.
call this plane. Okay,
Yeah. But
so
I think it just to like clarify, I think it is like an yeah, it is a like a language. You know what I mean? Like
okay,
it is a form of communication that's used in my brain. But
so and you want to just ask her, do you speak druidic in druidic?
yeah, I was gonna ask in sign language, but then
Mhm.
yeah, I think Bernie asks it in sign language. Like, do you speak Druidic? Just because she doesn't want to, I don't know, she doesn't want to be rude and just say something in another language that like they might
Sure.
not understand. So I think she's trying to use the language they are speaking together to ask if they speak Druidic, just as another form of communication, if possible.
Let me ask you one more question. Do you think if you were to ask in druidic, it would sound like me asking the same thing in like French, or do you think it would be like a something that's understood more on almost like a telepathic level, like just the way nature responds to both of your presence and being
Ooh.
connected in that moment?
Oh
So like
man.
so like phonetic sounds are more like vibes.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
been yeah, that yeah, that's a great clarification. That makes a lot of sense. I think phonetic sounds. I think
Okay,
it's yeah, I
got
think
it, got it. Like it's like yeah, okay, but it's yeah, an old earth, but like an actual
it's
language.
almost like
Got it.
imagine sorry not to go too deep. It's almost in my brain it's almost like it would be you're kind of mimicking a sound of a breeze with your mouth while like forming I don't know, forming a symbol with your
Christmas
hand or
go
like
uh,
yeah,
like a mockingbird kind of,
I know,
but
I don't
like
know,
all of the nature sounds. Interesting.
Like
shush, you know,
I'm almost thinking like what like the first Neanderthal people would speak, something
yeah,
akin to
kind
that,
of,
or even
yeah.
Mm, mm.
like um like ancient tribes where they would have like percussive
Yes.
noises as
Yes,
well to like their stuff. So
totally.
so
To
like
like
something
help.
that like predates like written history and like from the earliest ages, this is
Yeah.
just a language that transcends, especially in like the natural um ways of like practices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool,
I
cool,
love
cool.
that. That's cool.
But you just want to sign it to her, like if you and it's kind of like asking like someone if they speak Latin.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, totally. Yes, exactly.
um and roll me either an insight check or a perception check, and you'll get something different depending on which one you choose.
I choose insight
Okay.
and that is a it's a 10.
What's everyone else's passive perception?
12?
I
13.
don't. I don't think it
Or
matters. I rolled a 19 on the
yeah,
dice.
14 for
Oh,
Dominic. So
Nice.
Um, so you all miss it. But what did you get on your insight, Bernie?
10.
Okay. I think with just a 10, you see Sutha kind of stop and like she signs back to you to kind of make sure she heard you right, and she like pauses before signing the sign for Druidic, and then repeats it again. Um, and after confirming like yeah, that's what I said.
Mhm, mhm.
She says, "I know a little." Um, she signs something you don't understand at first, um, and then repeats herself and says a different word and says the elders um, speak it, and they pass it down to the next generations.
Mhm.
I've been learning from them, but it usually takes us years.
I it's not an easy language to learn. I was just curious. I assume this village is mostly druidic in nature, but I could be assuming because that's just where I come from. Regardless, I'd love to hear more about it once I smell a little better.
He laughs, and the chief wishes you all good night in his native tongue, but his intention is pretty clear. And Sutha signs to you all good night. And yes, we will talk more in the morning. Please get some rest, and again, accept our apologies. And they turn and begin to go upstairs.
I think Bernie just stands there for a second and watches them go, and it's almost like she's been holding her breath for the last day, and she just like deflates and turns back around to the group. They say that we have free reign. I know that I mentioned that as we were walking about, but I think we all just need some rest tonight, eh?
I think that's a good idea.
I could absolutely use some good shut-eye.
Guy.
Skin still kind of itches from the blast you gave me earlier. So yeah, I agree.
I hope you don't have any large wounds from that, Dominic. I can take a look at them later and maybe apply some ointment if it's needed. Just let me know.
I think just a good night's rest will help me out in the morning. You can check it out later.
Aye.
Comic, what condition was that again that you had?
Poisoned is what you told me.
Oh yeah, like radiation poisoning. I remember.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yes. Okay. Great. Yeah. All
Right. Well, I'm off to the baths. It might be cold, but I've got to get some of this off of me.
Okay. There's food, there's drink. I think there's also like barrels of water, if you just need like refill your water skins, things like that. I think there's plenty of like natural foods that's growing here that you could like pick enough to refill your rations if you needed to as well, if anybody has like a rations kit. You can easily clean off. It's a really fascinating system of different ropes you pull that just releases caught and stored rainwater onto you and then like filters down these drains and kind of like, flies off the side of the tree. But it is cold, but effective. So I imagine the lines move quickly if you guys want to do that as well.
Definitely Dominic's going to want to do that too.
I'll let everyone go first this time.
Very nice of you, Star, so we appreciate it.
I know it can be to just, get it all off.
And I think as you guys all kind of get together and begin to head down for the night or wind down for the night, Gundren takes a moment and kind of takes the hand crossbow and the like 4 bolts he has left for it, and looks at you, Kitlin and Eladri, and says, "Well, what are you guys able to get your items back, your weapons? Ones they took from you earlier?"
Right, yeah, I was able to get me weapons back. Eladri too. It's just the others that sort of went missing.
Well, that sword was precarious anyway.
I suppose it's easy enough to make another staff.
That sword I had was going to be irreplaceable, but we'll figure something else out.
Oh, that's rough, buddy.
Right, Dom, do you want to maybe try to get a search party going for your sword, or see if there's a store in town tomorrow to replace it?
Possibly see if they have any wares here. I think from what you told us about the explosion, those things are long gone at this point.
Right, well, I can help you look for it.
Could have only gone so far.
There's no harm in trying. We can always give it a try in the morning, see, after we're rested. Tonight is
It's
not
also a village of orcs. They've got to have some weapons here.
I believe they might.
Surely they can spare one or two. But Eladri, you got your weapons, and Kitlin, you got yours.
I still feel responsible for losing gear. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I'm just trying to take stock.
There's nothing to be apologized for. It's in the heat of battle. Things happen. You make decisions, and we make do. No big deal. That's why we're a group. We're gonna watch out for each other. We'll make sure it all comes out in the wash. It's fine. Please.
I think I'd rather lose a couple of weapons than a couple of you all.
Agreed.
Hey, agreed.
Same.
I appreciate everything y'all have done for me with this whole situation. I don't know what happened. But I appreciate that you all stuck behind me through this all. I don't think I
Are
say
you
that
all right?
enough. Define all right, Gundren. It's
Well, I know that you can do your thing and get real strong, like, and kind of horrifying. But it's great when you're on our side. But I don't know, lad. I just want to make sure you're all right.
well, for now, I'm in control. With everything that we went through tonight, I don't know. I thought this power was a boon, but I think it might be more of a curse than anything else. I need to do some research. And I'm thinking that the best place to do any research is probably going to be in the city.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm missing Neverwinter a lot right now.
I am kind of getting sick and tired of the woods. But we have our job.
Maybe we'll be in caves again soon.
We'll be in the caves. We'll get this job done. And then we'll figure out what our next steps are.
So what's the play tomorrow? Wanna sing Kumbaya with the orcs, or hit the road first thing, or?
I'd like to spend just a little bit of time in the morning getting to know these folks and understand about their religion or their beliefs and how that might relate to my tree. If it's all right with you all, it is. I know that coming here has already been stressful enough.
Well, about how much longer can we gauge that we're going to get to the caves? Does anybody know?
Gundren?
Just following the path my brothers laid out before me, but I don't know where it ends. Keep in mind, nobody's found this place in centuries. Except for my knucklehead full brothers. And maybe these pale elves that seemingly want to murder us.
Hang on, sorry. I gotta be right back, but hang on, sorry.
No worries. Well, it does seem that Bernie and the orcs have a repertoire. They're able to talk and communicate. She seems
It'd be good to learn what we can.
I agree, and she seems very invested in this, so I'm fine with staying a few hours in the morning, getting as much information as she can. One, cannot communicate with them, and two, honestly, I don't know if they even want to talk to me.
Well, there's that one that could speak common. Skorin, I think.
Aye.
He might be of some help, especially if a few of us want to try to resupply. Well, Barney's talking to the
It might
King
be a
and
good
Queen
idea
over
to
here.
get with Skoden, see if we can find any supplies, maybe
Yeah,
some
get
weapons.
stacked up. And Gundren, singing's not a half bad idea. The star swinks at him.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't think you want me singing, lass.
And we brought it up earlier, but I think we're overlooking one of the most valuable pieces of information that we have. These
That-
pale elves are still out there. Do we not think it might be important to warn these folk?
Aye. That's a good
God
point.
knows we were being passive and accommodating, all things considered.
I wonder if they even know about any of the turmoil that's out there, knocking on their doors.
I mean, from what I've seen, probably not. They probably keep to themselves.
Hmm.
And I think they can handle themselves. I mean,
Especially
I've
on
read
their...
stories about orcs, and I always... Let's just say that this group's a little bit more, well, accommodating than what the stories might lead you to believe. Not to mention, they're not pushovers. And, I mean, the orcs you've seen, they're all 6 feet tall, like the shortest ones are. They have very, like, strong, muscular physiques. And while these do seem focus more on building a village and a community, like this isn't a group of soldiers per se. um even a well-trained army would find a one-on-one skirmish even with these common villagers would be tough.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think there is a confidence that comes in just the culture of the species as well.
Well, there is
And
also
you've
the fact that,
seen,
home turf advantage.
not to mention Eladri and Kitland, two at this point seasoned adventurers. They fought the oldest lady in the village, and they had to run for their lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that does go for the show.
The chief turned into a giant four-armed white gorilla. His partner created a storm and instantly put the fires out. Like Bernie, your instincts were right. They clearly practice the druidic arts, but there's something about the knowledge your tribe has and the knowledge their tribe has that there's a disconnect. Like you're more connected to the ancient traditions, and this feels a little like offshoot, like a little new. Like there's a lot of similarities, but there's a different approach to it, and it feels one that seems less steeped in tradition and more steeped in just like intuition.
I see.
Essentially, this is a circle of druids that is kind of new compared to
Yeah.
your circle.
Cool. Okay.
Are the beds nearby?
Yeah, I think there's like maybe one or two rooms that have just like bedding in them, that are very cozy and comfortable.
Okay, yeah, I think both me and Pamela are gonna go immediately to bed. We're like 3 breaths away from dying, so
Totally, 100%.
just gushing blood.
Oh,
And
God.
As this conversation is happening, you literally hear like snoring from the other room. Like that loud grandpa snore.
Yeah.
like is he gonna be okay?
I think I might take a note from Kitlin's book. Get off these feet. I just want to say I'm thankful for you all. And even though we didn't arrive here how I wanted us to, thanks for being on this journey. I don't know. I think I'm just in my emotions a bit after such an intense day. I'm off to bed though, and I'll see you all in the morning.
It's good to have each other. Good night,
Hey.
Bernie.
Good night, Stardust. And I'm gonna head on over and yeah, just curl into a little bedroll.
Good night, Moon.
Good night, fruits. Good night. Good night, water. Good night, tree.
So Stardust's children bedtime book.
Yeah, Stars is making up like a little lullaby.
Good night, moon. Good night, stars.
Good night, everyone.
Speaking of stars, I think is there
It's
a balcony or something that maybe Dominic? I think he's gonna try to get some fresh air and like try to sit
think-
out and look at the stars.
the kind of back area is open, is like an open balcony. Again, like most of this space is like open air, and then it's like
Yeah.
these rooms that are kind of built like off to the side that are fully enclosed, like the shower and like the room where the wine is, and like some of the bedrooms and like the upstairs space. But the balcony where all like the food was just naturally growing, I think was kind of an open air space, and that's almost where I imagine you guys kind of having this conversation as people eventually peeled off to bed.
Yeah.
But it's out there. There's like this. It's like this curved balcony, and there's like cushioned seating like all along one side, and like vines and flowers and fruits like just kind of grow overhead. And you know kind of see like the occasional like strange marsupial with like giant eyes just like crawl past you. I think like there's like a family of raccoons that has just been like running from one side to the next like the whole time, like just stealing stuff off of these like vines that are just growing with stuff like, and there's stuff growing like way out on the branches that you'd have to like really climb and get out to, that they know
Yeah.
they can just like kind of get to with ease and take stuff without being, you know, pestered by the family too much. So there's a family raccoon that's just been going back and forth and stealing all that. But otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty quiet night, and you can definitely see some of the stars above, and you actually, it's such a clear night, you can if you like look closely, you can see the shape of the Sword Mountains even in the distance. And now that the storm from earlier has kind of cleared up, and all the clouds have cleared away, and there's a light breeze kind of clearing the night sky.
I think Dominic probably would have stayed out a little there and just kind of was aimlessly popping food from one of the vines in his mouth, trying to like replenish his stores.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That is a 16 on the die plus 4, so dirty 20.
Nice. You eat food, and it does kind of re-energize you. You are hungry. You've been walking. It's been a long day. But there is kind of a nausea that you still feel from the radiation poisoning, and at one point you're kind of just like popping literally these fruit like candy.
Yeah.
And you feel yourself start to get sick, like you're gonna kind of like throw up a little bit, but you're able to like kind of breathe through it, drink a little bit of water, and you're okay. But you do kind of feel that radiation sickness within you. You are still very poisoned.
At that point, he probably would have stopped
Intense beam.
and like sniffed
Yeah.
and like, oh, okay, that wasn't a good idea.
Your insides, you can feel them. They feel like itchy, just
Yeah.
from this blast, this powerful magic that Bernie performed on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anybody else? I'd probably just kind of sit out there for maybe an hour, just thinking, and then
Cool.
would probably kind of go to bed.
As you sit out there staring at the stars, thinking, those words echo in your head, Dominic, that ritual that was described to you.
Yeah. Kind of a shudder goes down
And-
his spine a little bit, recalling all of that.
your mind goes back to that place, to that voice, to that big chunk of amber, to the other chunks of amber in the room, to the dark energy you felt in that space. It was heavy and it weighs on you. And you think about what you admitted to your friends tonight. This what you thought was a boon, what you thought was a power you could use to fight, against an oppressive enemy, to save those weaker, than you from this tyrannical force. You're starting to realize the cost of it. And I am going to need from you
Mhm.
our first insanity check.
All right.
Oh,
Will you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Yes. And do you want it to be secret or out in the open?
You can do it out in the open.
Okay.
I think that's more fun.
You said wisdom saving, right?
Yep.
Not good at these. Here we go.
mm,
Ooh, that is a 6.
Oh no.
ooh.
Golden
Golden.
dice?
Golden. Yep.
I say we
Yep.
use golden.
All right, do it.
Are you sure?
Last time we
Yeah.
saved it, and I regret
Your
saving it.
call.
So
I
Do
give my
you
blessing.
regret saving it, Abigail? You do.
I do regret saving it.
Okay. I'll do a golden die in digital form this time.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yay! I mean, it was always a chance.
Yeah.
We tried.
Yeah.
Here we
Wow.
go. First wisdom roll or first insanity roll. I'm going insane in the membrane.
Oh God. Oh
Stomach.
no.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of slow down on the fruit you're eating, you have like they're like these like small kiwis you had been eating.
Mhm.
You reach for one, you kind of stop because it's been like making you nauseous. And as you keep thinking about this place where you were and this voice that spoke to you and it's funny because it didn't ask anything of you. It just told you, do this and this will happen. And it wasn't a command, and I don't want to tell you what Dominic's feeling. You can't stop thinking about it. And you get hungry again, you reach for another fig and you stop, no, you put it back because it makes you nauseous, and you're like, I'm gonna go to bed. What the hell, one more, and you grab the fig and you take a bite out of it, and it's so juicy, and you just suck it down. Look down, Dominic, and it's not a fig that you had grabbed, it's one of the raccoons.
Mm.
And you just drink it dry.
Okay.
You now have advantage on all initiative rolls. However, you have disadvantage on all persuasion checks and animal handling checks. And the DC for your bloodlust has now increased by 2.
Oh no.
God.
Oh no. All
Oh.
right. All right. Let me write that down so I can remember all this.
Dominic
This is fine. It's
has
fine.
been going through the ringer.
It's fine.
I'm fucking here for it. Let's do it, baby.
It's fine.
Great.
Everything's fine.
It's great.
It's great. Oh my God.
Find a pen real quick. I'll be right back.
Sodium nitrate.
Shit.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons.
No dungeons, no dragons, just trauma.
Just
No
try.
dungeons. No
All right,
dragons.
so advantage on initiative, disadvantage on persuasion and animal handling.
and animal handling.
Animal. All right, and then
Mhm.
+2 on my
Bloodlust DC.
Oof. All right, that's gonna be rough. All right,
Okay, don't worry about it.
don't worry about it. It'll be fine. I just, it's gonna be fine. Nothing's gonna happen. I promise, guys. Don't worry about it.
What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that'll happen? I'll have a weapon to use, so I don't have to ever use my bloodlust. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Did you get fun raccoon powers at least?
Yeah, I can't talk to animals anymore. There you go. You're welcome.
Tomic learned thieves. Thieves.
He must wash his food and water.
Yes.
Dominic, you are the last one to go to bed. And I think sleep finds you all very quickly. You may all take and complete a long rest.
Huzzah!
Thank you.
Sweet, sweet rest.
Owie.
Take those spell slots back. Thank you.
I'll take all
It
those hit points
is-
back. Let's go.
Late morning when you all begin to awake. As you start to leave the bedchambers, in whichever order, fashion, and time you wish to do so, you will notice that a table has been set up on the back balcony, and kind of small feast has been prepared. There are several nuts and fruits. There's some bread. There's fresh coffee. There's juice. There's some cooked meats. There's a lot of food, and you can see like 2 or 3 orcs kind of darting around, setting things up and preparing things, and maybe the sound of it is what begins to stir you all awake. And Lortar and Sutha are at the table, kind of awaiting you all.
Yeah.
I kind of walk up and we'll say hello, but then also kind of repeat that in signing to them, just to alert them that we're here.
Mm-hmm. They see you, and several of the servants come and usher you guys and pull chairs out for you. And Sutha signs to you. We assumed you and your companions must be hungry after your ordeals last night. This food is our gift to you all. I hope you enjoy it.
This looks wonderful. We're all a bit peckish. Had some of those fruits last night. They were delicious, but us dwarves need a little bit more in the meat and bread category. And I'm just gonna kind of pat my stomach a little bit. And as they're signing, as we're signing back and forth, I'm gonna be saying it out loud so that the whole group, can hear what's being talked about.
Cool. A few of what kind of appear to be servants, they come by and are offering, each of you either hot coffee or fresh juice. As they come through, and as they pass you, Bernie, and Gundren, Sutha kind of looks at you and has an embarrassed look on her face and looks at the 2 dwarves specifically and signs to you. Do you prefer something harder to drink?
I think Bernie looks over at Gundren and,
And you can see that Lortar has actually served an ale this early in the morning.
yeah. Yeah, I think Bernie looks over to Gundren and just kind of smiles a toothy grin and says, I didn't wet my whistle last night, so it couldn't hurt to have a little this morning. And yeah.
Yeah, Sutha says something in Orcish to the servants, and a few moments later, they both come back with these flagons of ale for you and Gundren. And Sutha signs to you, Bernie, and says, my partner, wishes to say something to your companion and indicates Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
If I sign to you, will you translate his words?
Barney just nods her head.
And she says something to the chief, and he nods. And Lortar looks right at you, Dominic, and in Orcish, translated through sign language, and coming from Bernie.
Telephone. Yeah.
Lortar tells you something along the lines of, I don't know anything about the demon inside of you, but I do know very much about the demon inside of me. I have lived with it. I have wrestled with it. I have conquered it, and it has conquered me. That demon is rage. It is not my place to condemn a man for what he carries, only what he does with it. There has been a strain on this community for some time. Something that has nothing to do with you or your arrival, but I fear your arrival may have amplified it. We believe the chief leads by protecting, by ruling when there is dispute or crime, by leading in strength, honor, and character. But for wisdom, we seek the knowledge of our elders. When questions that require new ways of thinking, or perhaps old ways of thinking, we turn to them. When strangers arrived in our village for the first time in a long time, we turned to our elders. They condemned what they saw immediately and required me to act to keep the village safe. And it is close to blasphemy what I am about to say. But last night the wisdom of the elders did not seem wise. And we have been doubting their wisdom for a time now. Which goes against everything we believe. If their wisdom cannot guide us, can my strength protect us? Can this village operate the way it operates? To challenge them is to challenge the foundation of everything, so we did what they required of me. But he kind of looks to Sutha. It's last night that we ignored. And I think more harm could have been done. At you, and he looks to you, Kitland, and you, Eladri. Had you two not acted. Had you two not fought what you believed was right. And for that you have my respect.
Right, well, we are sorry for blowing up that portion of the tree.
He
Would
laughs.
you like us to throw you some some gold for that.
He holds up a hand, and Sutha signs to you, Bernie, before the chief can respond. We do not use gold in this village. We make what we need. We grow what we need to eat. We trade amongst each other and make sure that all have what is needed for. We have no use for gold in this village. The chief begins speaking now, and it all gets again interpreted. The elders' shelter can be rebuilt. There's groups working on it even as we speak, and if you'd wish to help, we would welcome it. But we would like to know, in your own words, what has brought you here?
Well, that's quite a story. And Bernie kind of like looks to the rest of the group. I suppose it all started with Gundren here. We were meant to help him. And like I'm just gonna kind of like go into everything that Bernie kind of remembers. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
like holes here and there. But I'm gonna turn to Eladri as I'm kind of wrapping up the general gist of the story. Our friend Eladri here has brought up a very valuable point. And he might be able to divulge a little bit about that. About the elves and the goblins.
Formidable as you and your people might be, I know this. The world is changing, and conflict, battle, war, fight could come to you. I don't, Bernie, am I doing an all right job? I don't know.
Bernie Bernie just like nods and like does the little hand motion of like, yeah, you got this.
But thank you for being so warm to us from the outside. Not all of us are like us. That sounded better in my head. I'll just bow at the end.
You see there's like some confusion in the interpretation of the sign, and Chief like nods, but even without rolling an insight check, you can tell that maybe a little bit got lost in translation.
Yeah.
But he hears what you're saying about the goblins and the elves. How much of the how much of the story did you want to go into, Bernie? Like, was there anything specifically you wanted to hold back? Because this is like a community that appreciates storytelling, and I think as you begin telling this tale, they would very much be hanging on your words, and Stutha would even be like trying to like really clarify with specific sign language, that she was really understanding your point. But was there anything specifically you wanted to withhold?
I do not tell them about the stone that we are kind of on the hunt for. I think I'm trying to think of like
Like
how
the Ethereum stuff?
the Ethereum. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't tell them about the Ethereum.
Okay, you just tell them about a mine they discovered, but apparently the mine, discovering the mine brought unwanted attention on them, and now Drow and Goblin are both after them.
Yeah.
We stopped a goblin uprising. There are still goblin clans out in Neverwinter Wood, but they don't seem as organized anymore. At least that's what another goblin told us would happen. And we believe the Pale Elves, they might actually be nearby and a threat to you guys. That's kind of what you're communicating.
Yeah, the main thing is I want to communicate kind of what Eladri was saying. Like, there's possible danger on your doorstep. This is what we've been through. This is the journey that we're on. Um,
Um,
yeah.
this gives both of them pause, and go ahead and give me a group insight check now.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, Birdie, so close.
That one for me.
Uh, these are the worst.
Oh my
Oh.
God, we're all still really tired.
Yeah.
Except for Caitlin.
We don't really. I don't see it.
Insight, right?
Wow.
What'd you get, Dominic?
18.
Okay, so
Okay.
Dominic and Kitlin.
That's where it all went.
Yes. They drank coffee instead of beer this morning.
Nat ones. That's hilarious. And a 2. And that 2 nat ones and a nat 2.
Rough, guys, rough.
I will say with so much natural oneness and so much being communicated
We're so together.
silently through sign
yeah.
language and in different languages. And Dominic, I'll say the food is really unappetizing to you.
Yeah, I would have thought Dominic probably would have been just drinking from his water skin and just kind of keeping to himself.
It's a full-on
There's like
raccoon.
There's a little bit of cooked meat, I think, that you like nibble on. But I think you're still feeling really shitty from the radiation sickness that you still have.
Ooh.
But go ahead and mark 8 hours for me if you can.
Okay.
But yeah, and I'll say you guys notice just the briefest pause as this gets brought up. And then the chief says something to Sotha, and you see him start to get up to leave. And Sutha says, like signs to you, Bernie, please forgive my partner. There is a lot of work that needs to get done today, and it is pretty late in the morning already. He's going to go down into the village, but before you all leave, I was planning on visiting the temple this morning, and I would be honored if you would join me. And she's directing this towards you, Bernie.
Mhm.
I understand that we, last night when you were all brought into the amphitheater, we procured your weapons, that they may have been lost in the fires. And at this point, as the chief is beginning to leave, Skoden actually comes through the front doors. And she says, Skoden would be happy to take your companions into the village. He has the chief's blessing on him, and he could negotiate with some of the villagers to try and replace some of the items you may have lost. Our wares may not be, identical to what you have, but hopefully comparable. However, we understand that you are on your own journey, so there is no pressure, but I would really like to spend a little more time with you if I could.
I would like that as well. I have some other matters pertaining to my home that I could use some clarification on. And we would much appreciate the replacement of our weapons.
And yeah, Skoden kind of comes up to the table and looks at Ladry, Gundren, Dominic, and Kitlin. He kind of addresses you guys, or really all of you, and he goes, "Glad you guys aren't in Roots anymore. I mean, talk about an upgrade. This is nice." The chief said I could help you guys, try to get some stuff that you may have lost in the fires last night. Here to help. Just kind of hang out with you for the day, if you'd like. Kind of be your translator, your guide, and all that.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, I believe He should have told you that. But yeah, good to see you guys again. Glad we're all friends now.
Oh,
Cool.
Do you have a sort of artificer or tinkerer that lives in the village?
I don't know what those words mean. That's the what? We have a blacksmith.
Right. Could you point me in his direction?
Sure, yeah. We all get. Do you guys want to all go together? I can kind of show you around the tree a little bit.
Yeah, I would love a tour.
But
Cool.
I think before Dominic leaves, he's gonna kind of turn to Bernie. And he's gonna say, Bernie, are you sure you want to be alone? Do you want anybody to come along? Or you think you'll be fine?
I think there's like it's hard for Bernie. There's a lot on her mind, and so I think that there's a flash of like concern behind her eyes, but it's less of a like fear and more of a concern about the conversation that she's about to have. And she just kind of smiles at Dominic and I'll be all right. If anything happens, I'll send my little rabbit friend along to come find you.
All right,
But
if you say so.
thanks, Dominic, and enjoy your day. I'll see you all in just a bit. Hey,
All right. Go ahead and lead the way.
Right on. Cool. Yeah. So, what kind? And Skoden starts to lead you guys like out of this bungalow, and you guys begin walking down the branch, like through the tree. And one thing you notice almost immediately about Orzul Uvok is how different it is in the daytime compared to night. Like now that you can actually see it, I think the scale of it, you're finally able to take it. First of all, you guys are just hundreds of feet up in the air right now, which is made so much more obvious now that it's daylight. And as you look down below, you can see that this entire tree is just like buzzing with activity. You can see several fires still rage, both kind of like in parts of the branches and down in the village below, but not like wildfires like left over from Kitlin and Eladri's terrorist attack. But just like
It was self-defense,
um,
and he had a malfunction.
but they're controlled bonfires that are just kind of lit like throughout the space. And you remember seeing several of these last night, and I think it would have been easy to mistake some of them like throughout the trees as like to kind of mistake them for the glowing pine cones. But they're just these fires kind of roaring throughout the village as beacons, and just like as a part of this culture. The branches themselves are wide. They're like literal roads, and but this like clearly doesn't stop the orcs from climbing. Like there are ropes and vines and various climbing points, and you can see the various ways that these orcs kind of commute through the tree vary. Skoden is kind of taking you along like the easiest, gentler path, but there are several orcs around you just climbing and swinging and using these like lifts that are counterbalanced by weights to just traverse through the tree rapidly and carry goods through the tree as well. You can see large squirrels about the size of dogs hopping around from branch to branch.
Whoa.
Some of them seem like almost like pets to certain orc villagers, while others seem like nuisances being like shooed away with brooms or rakes. You eventually kind of pass by where the like elder shelter was destroyed, but there's already like a crew out there working on things, clearing away the rubble and beginning to rebuild parts of it. And everyone here just seems to have a job of like some kind. Whether they're doing carpentry or lumber work to fix the damaged shelter, and making other various repairs to the Elder's Lodge, or even using druidic magic to heal the burns in the tree, down to like the more mundane jobs like farming and gathering materials out in the woods for potions or other foodstuffs, doing textile work, meal prep, child rearing, carpentry, smithing, just anything that a village would need. There's somebody here kind of participating in that work. Um, and as you guys are kind of walking through the tree, Skoden, he's kind of talking to you guys and kind of pointing out like various kind of places and, different members of the community, and like various relations, just kind of innocuous stuff about the village. But eventually he's like, so yeah, is there anything, in specific that you guys are looking for? A lot of people here have, stuff they might be willing to barter. We can probably, I got the chief's word on this, so we might be able to recover a lot of it. Depending on how simple it is, as just like a donation. Just sort of depending on what the request is. There may be some bartering that needs to be involved. But what kind of specific stuff are you guys trying to replace? It's weapons, right? Mostly, I'm assuming.
Uh, yeah, I think it was just, yeah, it's just our weapons. I had I had a bow and a sword.
Okay, yeah, that's easy enough. A bow, a sword might be tricky. A sword, that's going to require a little bit more work. I don't know how long you guys are trying to stay here for. And also, I'll tell you guys right now, just kind of as you're talking to Skoden a little bit more mechanically, I can get you guys pretty much any weapon on the simple weapons list, maybe with an exception here or two, and a few specific items on the marshal's weapons list. And depending on what you want, it may take a little bit longer. So, I now ask you as the players, what specific items or gear do you think your character would be trying to recover or replace?
Oh.
So the only thing that they took was our weapons, correct? We left our
Correct.
armor. It was just our simple weapons and weapons.
Yes, it was pretty much any arms you could use to commit violence with, because that was the thing, was that the amphitheater was like a sacred ground. No violence should be committed here.
Right. Got everything else.
I mean, honestly,
Wearing
the only
armor
thing...
doesn't violate that.
Correct. I mean, I had a rapier and a crossbow. That's basically all I had in weapon-wise. Rapier was interesting. So I wonder, I mean, is there a way that we would be able to maybe possibly track down the things that were lost? Were they in the fire? Did you guys recover anything that was in there, or have you guys not gotten through it yet?
So there's been a lot of work. I mean, so a lot of what can only be described as like building shrapnel. Um, it did a good bit of damage to some of the lower structures. We've gone through a lot of it. Um, Nothing like your weapons have been recovered. Most nothing has been recovered. Right, it's mostly just been cleaning and repairing. Oh, but go ahead and roll me a history check.
Okay. History, that is a 14.
You saw the destruction of the elders' shelter.
Mm-hmm.
No weapon would be able to like
Survive
remain
that
intact.
kind of, yeah.
Maybe Talon might, because you sense its magical enchantment. But
Yeah.
any mundane weapon would easily be just completely obliterated. And while the weapons that, may he rest in peace, Droop made were unique, they were not magical. So the only weapon that might have survived the blast is your rapier. The rest you can pretty safely guarantee, even if you recovered, would not
Yeah.
be like durable or usable in combat anymore.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree. I think Dominic, having seen as much destruction as he has, in his past life, he would have known of any weapon that was not in any kind of higher tier, quote unquote, with capabilities that are higher than just normal weapons would probably have been destroyed in that blast.
Right.
Skoden, do you mind me looking? I had a magical sword that I had, and I wonder if maybe it survived the blast.
Sure. You guys like all want to go look? I mean, it might eat into our time, recovering other stuff for you, or is there something you just want to do on your own?
If you guys want to split off and I can go search for this, because I don't want to bring the whole team with me if it's just me trying to find my one sword.
I'll go with you.
Okay, that'd be great.
And you see, as Eladri says that, Skoden, he kind of shouts in Orcish to another orc nearby, who's you can see he's actually kind of like feeding one of the big squirrels. And you hear him call this orc Studis, and say something to him in Orcish, and then looks back to you guys and goes, Studis is going to go with you guys just so nobody gives you any, trouble for wandering around the village. But Studis is the man. He's got your back. He's actually a pretty good tracker, so he's probably a good person to have an extra set of eyes on for something like this. But yeah, just in case any orcs stop you or don't know why two strangers are walking around the village, Studis will be there to explain for you. Is that cool with you, man?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I appreciate it, Scott, and that's great.
Right on. All right. So yeah, you're able to go off on your own and kind of explore. And as you are you trying to make your way all the way down to the bottom canopy and kind of like spread out from there, or not canopy, sorry, like forest floor, and then spread out from there, comic, or do you want to kind of search the branches as you go?
I think Dominic is going to be as thorough as possible, so I think he's going to
Cool.
kind of continue while going down, looking through the branches, seeing if he sees anything that glimmers or something like that kind of gleans his eye towards it might be town.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, and you can do so with advantage because you have Studis and Eladri with you.
First roll, natural 20.
Hell,
Yeah.
fucking yes, for a total of what?
And you said perception
This
or
is
investigation? 26 total then.
Yo, let's go. Unfortunately, that is not high enough to meet the DC.
Wow.
I know, I'm such an asshole, and I made you roll anyways. So you are thorough, and Skoden is like the man, and you're actually able to cover a decent amount of ground, and you're feeling pretty and you're seeing like Skoden's even pointing down like the wreckage in like not even broken common, and just kind of like pointing, and there's just like a very like confident broiness to him.
Yeah.
It's just like a vibe. You just get it. And he's kind of
Yeah.
showing you where they like recovered other stuff, and you feel like you make it through the branches, really confident of like where most of the damage affected the branches. Super quick. And actually, with a nat 20, I'll say I actually have how long it's gonna take per investigation check, but I'm gonna, because of a nat 20, you like cut the time in half, and like within the first hour, you get down to kind of the forest floor. And he even like shows you some cool shortcuts where he's like, you like find one area where like a bunch of stuff kind of hit and like some cinders fell, and then he like points to like 3 branches down below where like a few more hit. And like you and Eladri start to walk back to the main path, and he's like, no. He like kind of pats you on the chest, like, no, and grabs like a vine and just like swings down to the next 3, and then like slings it back to you guys and shows you how to like swing from branch to branch, so you get to kind of travel the fun way a little bit with Studis.
I like that.
Okay with that.
But no sign of your rapier. But Studis is kind of getting into it, and you feel a little bit more confident. And there's like several more places kind of throughout the village and a little bit beyond where he wants to still show you that there might be a chance for it. But about an hour has gone by as you guys have just sort of made your way down the tree looking for an asylum.
Okay.
While the rest of you are you kind of the rewinding an hour, Staris, Gundren, and Gitlin, you all watch as Aladri and Dominic go off with this new orc in search of his rapier. Skoden kind of looks back at you guys. So yeah, I know you said you were looking for like a tinkerer or a smith of some kind, Gitlin. What did you have in mind?
Hoping to have somebody look at my bow mechanic thing, the flint thing that exploded.
Yeah, Skoden, he takes it, he looks at it, he's like, whoa, like, did you make this yourself?
Right, well, me and a friend have made it. I've got the plans here too. And I'll pull out the plans for the drawings for the making it.
Oh. Well, I was never really into that smithing, but there's definitely a few people we could show this around to. I'm sure someone would be able to bang this out. It looks small. I don't imagine it'll take too long.
Right, well, that'd be great. Be grand.
Cool. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 guys I can introduce you to. What about you? Staris, Gundren, you guys need anything?
A bow would be great.
Oh, we got plenty of bows. That's no problem.
Perfect.
Short bow or long bow?
How about a short bow?
Okay.
Or let me try them out.
Yeah,
That's fair.
we've got a couple of really great Fletchers in town. And Gundren's like, I don't think I need anything. I snuck this in. I feel a little bad with everything that happened, but a couple of extra bolts.
Come in clean.
And you guys walk around a little bit. Staris and Gitlin, roll me initiative.
Initiative.
Fight!
Oh god.
Oh, awesome.
Uh-oh.
You guys
Nice.
stop at
Nice.
Smith first, and Skoden he goes to Gitlin, do you mind if I take this to him?
No, go for it.
They don't speak common, so I just figured I could just kind of fast track this a little bit for us.
And I'll leave the plans too.
Oh yeah, so he takes him in to a smith, and he's in there for maybe like 5-6 minutes, and he comes out and he says, yeah, no problem. He says give him like maybe an hour and a half to knock it out, and he should be able to repair it. He can see what happened is when it fired, it bent it a little bit, so he's just got to take it out, heat it up, bend it back into place, reattach it.
All right. Well, I know you don't accept gold. I'm not sure what you might want to barter with for payment.
Oh no, I told him I'd do some chores for him in the next couple of days to pay him back. So yeah, you're all good. No, I'm kind of getting the day off right now, getting to show you guys around town. So I'm getting to kind of like slack off on my chores. So to make up for it, I'm gonna do favors for like other people based on how we help you out. It's a whole kind of give and take thing we got going here. It's pretty chill. It's cool.
I like how like half the orcs are a bunch of bros, but then like there's like the prim and proper orcs of like the higher tier guys being like, no, we're the leaders.
Skoden and Sudis, by the way, they're like 16 years old, but again, they're like he's like 6'8" and 280 pounds.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like
Right.
he's like an NF what's his what's that running back's name? I can't even think of his name right now. Drawing a blank. But like oh my god. Derrick Henry. So I don't know if you guys if anyone like cares about football, but Logan Paul was on his bullshit and like challenged Tom Brady to a flag football game, and Tom Brady whooped his ass. But like while Logan Paul was bad mouthing him, he was like, I scored 19 touchdowns in high school. Da, 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 da. And Tom Brady was like, Derrick Henry scored 92 touchdowns in
Yeah.
1 year. And they took him out at halftime. Like, I don't give a shit about. But Derrick Henry is also built like a monster truck. Anyways, that's what these orcs look like. They're running 95 touchdowns in one season of high school football.
That's
Amazing.
retarded.
Yeah, just big fucking muscular like dude. And but yeah, so he's like, we find a blacksmith, he's able to make the repairs. Shouldn't be an issue. It's gonna take a little bit of time, enough time for Stars you to go check out a Fletcher. Which I think would be nearby. You're kind of in that region. And you find someone that has several different bows. You can see they made. I think Fletcher is actually someone who just makes arrows. I don't think it's someone who makes a bow as well. It doesn't matter. Somebody who specializes
find the bow
in these
person?
items.
I
and you're able to
had
kind
a
of
short
try
bow,
out.
but I think a long bow might be better suited now.
Yeah, as you kind of try out both, and you like the longbow a little bit more. Go ahead and just for fun, roll me a charisma check. Or let's say
Naturally.
persuasion. Persuasion.
Naturally. Wonderful. 29.
There you
That's a
go.
nat 20.
Oh,
That's
nat
a nat
20.
20.
Holy
Look at that,
Um,
two of them.
You see
Yeah.
this bowmaker. It's like an older orc. You know, he's got like bushy gray eyebrows and like long gray hair that's like tied in various braids. He sees you trying out the bows, and he sees like your form and just kind of the way you're watching and look. And all these bows are like, you can tell they're hand carved. They're beautifully made, and a lot of them are made from the wood um of this tree. Uh, and he takes one that's kind of like higher up on the shelf that you can tell is a very special, just beautifully made, like red wooded longbow that he hands to you, Sarnis, at the end of this interaction. And you can add a longbow of warning to your inventory.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Nice. Okay.
All right, at
This
least
is
somebody has a
beautiful.
magical weapon.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry.
Awesome.
Um,
Hell yeah.
Although this fine requires a gift of a song.
Yay.
Yay.
Any reason to sing?
Right.
what do you
I love
think?
it. A song about strength. And coming together and togetherness.
Roll me a performance check.
Nice. Still great.
Ooh.
17.
Yep.
Got
A
plus
small
9. That's
crowd.
bananas.
I shouldn't even ask her to roll. I'm gonna say like a small crowd of about like 3 or 4, no, maybe more than like 6 or 8 like orcs like actually start to gather kind of around this this bowmaker's like small little shack, this small shelter, and kind of like all just listen as you sing. And as you finish, you're met with like light applause. And you know, a few of them come up. They want to like touch you, shake your hand, and thank you in their native tongue. Um, and the bowmaker says something to Skoden, and he turns to you, Staris, and he says, that was his father's. His father taught him, and again, this is like an old or big white bushy eyebrows, like
Yeah.
wrinkles all over his face. It's like his father, was the one who taught him how to make a bow, and he believes that it shouldn't just sit up here on the shelf anymore. His father loved adventure and music, and now he knows that it belongs with you.
I'm honored.
He bows to you, and Godin looks at you guys and says, "Well, it's gonna be a while still before your bow is ready, Kitlin. Um, if there isn't anything else you guys need, I guess we just got to kill some time for a little bit."
You
Oh,
have
I
any
know.
songs?
We could go. You guys remember Jortar?
Jortar.
He was the guy who found you in the woods. Scary dude, always has like the white face paint on.
Jortar. How could we forget?
Anyway, we were all out on patrol when we got you guys and brought you back to our village against your will. Remember? He's
Uh-huh.
that guy. Anyways,
Right.
so he's like really good at like taking stuff like natural ingredients and making like really weird like drinks out of them. And some of them do like really weird bizarre stuff. If you guys have anything you think might be worth trading, he might have some cool potions to trade with you
Mm.
guys.
Alright, that sounds like good crack.
Oh yeah, we'll head that way. He starts to lead you to Jortar's hut. Meanwhile, burning. Everybody kind of clears out of the chieftain's kind of bungalow, and you are left alone with Sutha. And she signs to you. She says, "I'm glad we have this moment alone. I know it can be difficult to say everything you want to say when you're surrounded by friends and family. I know you have questions for us, and I have some for you. Um, will you walk with me?"
Aye, lead the way.
And she starts to lead you a few minutes after your companions leave down the tree as well. Um, tell me about your home. She signs to you.
Ah, my home. Well, I've been away for a minute now, but we reside under the great tree, Carrickdroth. I mentioned that. It's a beautiful place, much like this, where the light shines in the great willow. And our elders live up in the tree, similarly to you all. When I left it, Sutta, I have to say, I didn't quite leave it in the best place, and that's part of the reason that I'm on this journey. There's a darkness spreading, and something's killing our great tree, dimming its light. And I've no idea what it is, to be honest. Have you
You
all
don't
experienced anything similar here?
you don't walk very far before she leads you to this lift that you're able to step on and just slides down um, pretty effortlessly, taking you all the way to the forest floor. So she's able to kind of give you her full attention as you're signing back and forth to each other. Dimming its light, how?
Sorry, can you say that one more time? I feel like it cut out.
Oh, yeah, she says, because you said it's like its power was being dimmed, its light was being
Mm-hmm.
dimmed.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "What do you mean dimming its light? How?"
There's some sort of rot that's taken to the roots. And as that rot grows and climbs up the great trunk of Rath Kazdul, the lights in the trees, in the leaves, have begun to fade. Where they once shone so brightly that you could see them for miles, it's now faded. Almost like a light bug, a firefly losing its glow.
He says, "We are lucky that we have not known that here in Orzel-Ovak. Have you investigated the roots? You said it. You feel that it originated from there. What have you seen when you've explored beneath your tree?"
More of the
Bernie,
same. Yeah.
I think as she says this,
Hmm.
and this isn't something I don't think you and I have talked about, but something I want to go ahead and make true for Carrick Droth, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
When your people first came to Carrick Droth, how long ago that was, which I feel like was a pretty long time ago,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
it was because they fled from their homes, which was originally subterranean, being dwarf. It was from underneath the earth.
Mhm.
And when they settled to the surface and when they came to Carrick Droth and made Carrick Droth their home, they embraced surface life fully. I don't think you have access to the roots in the same way that they do in Orzel-Ovak. I
Mm.
think the dwarves of Carrick Droth were so committed to surface life, they never thought to delve below.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that too may be for fear of hurting this great tree, because again, something so massive, the roots would be so massive. How would you even begin to dig through that? And and that's what dwarves do, they dig through, right, not
Mm-hmm.
around. And so I think there might be some fear of potentially damaging it, but I also think there's some fear of venturing beneath the surface as well. There's some taboo that comes with that because
Mm-hmm.
of what the dwarves endured.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in this moment there's a realization that maybe there's something there.
Yeah. I think, yeah, Bernie just pauses for a minute and thinks about it. I have to tell you, Sutha, although we have access to the tops of the roots and we see where they enter into the earth, we haven't disturbed that earth for quite some time, if ever. It's amazing to see what you all have done to integrate into the root system of your great tree, but I think where I'm from, there's a bit of hesitancy there. Whether that's for damage or for fear ourselves of returning to under the ground.
I have lived in this village my whole life, but my ancestors were nomadic in nature. We have only been here for 4 generations. We have learned so much, and I believe it has made us better. Through sunfire and through the gifts of this tree, our people have achieved a bond that we once believed could only be forged in battle. What do you know of these trees, of their origin?
Why, well, I know that there's several around this world. I never honestly thought that I would come across another one because I know it's quite rare. To be honest, I always thought that Corrick Droth was the first, the oldest, My circle is comprised of some of the most ancient of druids in druid knowledge. I know that the tree is some sort of energy that ties everything together. The light that shines is beyond our physical nature. It's something that's given to us through this system of great roots that connects these trees all over the world. At least this is what I've been taught.
Similar to what I've been taught as well. She's leading you further away from the village, you realize. Further away from the tree. Kind of into the woods, but down a path that is well worn and has been walked several times, Bernie. We have a tradition amongst our people. We take our ancestors with us wherever we go. We did it for generations as nomads, literally carried them on our backs. And when we established ourselves here, we found a new way to honor them. And what she's saying, I don't think makes sense to you at first, Bernie. And as you kind of like rounds the bend a ways, you see it, and suddenly it does. Several white structures there in the middle of the wood. Tall towers, uh, different geometrical large sculptures, all solid white, almost like ivory. As you get closer, you realize that they're made out of like these individual like units, like orbs almost, like these like white stones, kind of like the size of like a coconut almost, right? That make these like tall pillars in various geometrical shapes, and it's like massive, like it's a literal, like she said, like a temple, not one you could walk in, but just like a sculpture garden here in the middle of the woods. And as you get closer, you realize they're not small white stones. They're orc skulls. And it's a temple made entirely of bone. Dominic, you are still searching with Studis and Eladri. Dylan, I gotta turn you back up because I heard like some weird TV noises, so I turned you down.
Oh yeah, I got dishes going on in the kitchen out there.
All good, man. You guys have spread out a little bit. I will say kind of like opposite direction. If like the way back to where you guys were initially discovered was, we'll say the northwest of here. Bernie went like or southwest of here, and you're going like southeast, right? So like all three different directions. And as you're continuing to scan out at the various areas that these fires kind of damaged, different parts of the woods and burnt away various shrubs and paths here, roll me another investigation check with advantage, Dominic.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna lower the DC a little bit because you got a natural 20 last time.
Alright, so that's a 16 for the first roll. And an 8 on the second. 16 plus, I believe it's 6? Investigation? Yeah. 16 plus 6, so 22.
22. We will say that it's been about 2 hours now that you've been out searching. Maybe a little longer. We'll say it's going on like 3 hours. You're getting pretty far, and you are kind of getting to like about I think the end of like maybe how much time you want to put into this, maybe not, but definitely to the end of where like Studis is kind of running out of places to show you.
Yeah. Getting kind of
And
discouraged
then
too, probably at this point.
and you kind of start to turn around and head back, and the light catches something in the tree up above you. And as he kind of like hits you on the shoulder and like points up, and you look up and you see it, and you stare at it, and it looks like in all these vines you can make like the tiniest, faintest glimmer of like metal stuck in something.
Okay. Well, the first piece of metal that seems usable that we've seen in a while. About how high up in the tree is it?
I'm gonna say like not quite 30, but higher than 20.
So it is a climb.
And it looks like it's stuck in like the vines too, not necessarily in a tree itself.
Yeah, so
So
it's
just
just
kind
like
of like
wrapped in a bunch of
the
vines.
random,
And stuff
yeah, foliage that is the canopy, not necessarily like, oh, it's right there on that branch.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So it's like hidden in the foliage and like the canopy, the
Mhm.
green of the canopy, like it's all covered in all that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. As you're looking, like a rock goes sailing past it, and you like look, and like Studis has another one in his hand, and he just like shrugs at you.
I mean that's a great idea. I know that I wouldn't be able to climb up there probably. I told you, Eladri, I'm not gonna just assume that you're really good at climbing just because you're an elf, but are you good at climbing trees?
Yeah,
Because you are an elf.
Eladri was already limbering up.
Nice.
I
Ladry, you're
got
the
this.
man.
I got this. He does take off his armor though, and it does
Okay.
hefty kind of chunk on the ground.
Nice. Boom. Yeah, as it thuds to the ground.
Yep. Yeah.
And as you attempt to climb up there, Eladri, go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
You think I could help him by giving him advantage by like, hey, maybe that tree's there, that limb's pretty good, or something like that? Like calling up to him.
Yeah, I'd love advantage.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. Jesus, that's like the fourth nat one.
Oh
insane.
man.
Yes, as you're kind of spotting him from below, Dominic, I'll let him roll.
Thank you, DM.
Well, I at least made it off the ground this time.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
So
Yeah.
you are not able to like get to the item, but you are able to kind of get up in the tree a little bit and get to a position where you can kind of like wiggle the vines, and it causes like everything to move and sway a little bit, and the metal like you see it start to move, and a little bit of it gets exposed, and you can see just the beginning of like the bottom of a hilt of a rapier.
Oh.
We're close. We're close. Can we try and whip it from where I am?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll me an attack with your whip.
Get out of here, vines.
Whip it good.
You flip your whip out, Dominic,
Nope.
or Eladri, and it like hits some of the vines and causes like it to wrap around the vines a little bit and get stuck. And as you pull it loose and free, the hilt gets like sucked back into the vines a little bit more, and now it's out of sight. You know generally where it is, but now you don't see the metal glimmering anymore.
How high off the ground am I?
You are, we'll say, somewhere between 15 and 20 feet.
All right, I'll leap out for it, higher than where I think the hilt is, and flying squirrel. Try and grab as much of everything as I can.
Roll me an acrobatics check or
Perfect.
athletics check. I think it can be either one.
12 for acrobatics.
Okay. You were just trying to like swan dive and grab a bunch and shake it loose?
Yeah. If
Okay.
swan dive, if I can hold on up there, if the vines are strong enough, then yeah, I'm shaking it loose. If not, then I just want to take everything down with me.
Okay, here's what's happened. You are going to like body slam onto the vines and like shake everything loose and immediately like flip upside down on it, and you're like trying to hang on to like this clump of like vines and foliage, but you're upside down with your back facing the ground right at this point, and you're kind of trying to shake it while holding onto it. Roll me a let me have a it's a straight dexterity check to see if you can hang on. The DC is 15.
God. Hey, there we go.
Oh,
You're like,
Hey.
you're like leg and arm slips off, and you're like trying to get your leg back up, and you get your leg back up right as your like other arm slips off, and you go like 90 degrees for a second. You like have to kind of do a sit up, and you reach back up and get back up on the clump of vines, and you're able to hang on. And at this point, you can reach in and like begin to like pull the sword free. It like pulls a little bit on the vines, and you eventually yank it out, and you are able to get Talon free from these vines.
Yay!
Dominic, I got it. I
Nice.
got it.
That was precarious at best. Good job, Eladri.
Now you have to get down.
Really glad you didn't
So
get
I
stabbed.
need one more athletics or
That's
one more
easy, yeah.
acrobatics check. The DC is 15.
Yeah, well, the dismount's easier than getting up there. I just got to tell you, gravity does most of the.
How do you want to dismount?
Oh, I backflip.
Yeah,
Nice.
you literally
Nice.
drop, do a
Yeah, I
backflip,
just like slip out of it. Yeah,
Hell
exactly.
yeah.
land in front of Dominic, and you are able to recover Talon. Man,
Next
some,
time-
Hell
some
yeah.
very good
Next
rolls.
time you monster, remember,
Hell yes.
same side.
Hell yeah.
And I raised Talon up to him.
Eladri, you have no idea. This is amazing, my friend. Appreciate it.
This has been, I think, several hours of searching, and will take you a little bit of time to get back to the village. So we will go ahead and jump back into Kitland and Staris and Gundren going to meet with Jorek. You come to a small little shack with several weird fumes and smoke and smells emanating from it. You can hear the sound of like water bubbling. You can hear different like glass like beakers like clanging up against themselves, and just the sounds of like a busybody in a small space working with a bunch of different instruments as you approach. And Skoda kind of stops you guys and he goes, okay, so Jorek, he's a little out there. He's a solid dude, but he's very kind of not a fan of like goofing off and stuff, and just like really down to business. Like I'm not saying this to scare you. You'll be fine. Just like he can be a little prickly. So like so just what are you guys thinking about? You might have that you could barter with, because he's definitely someone who likes to he kind of likes to make sure he gets what he received. Like he don't like to do stuff for free. He's kind of it's kind of But I don't know, like what kind of stuff do you guys think you might have that you think you want to offer him?
I do have the gift of song.
Oh yeah, actually no, that's solid. That I think that would totally work. I mean, I heard your last song. You're really good. I think
Oh, great.
you'd really like that. Yeah. Gundren, Kidlin, what about you guys? And Gundren kind of is like, I mean, everything I got is basic camping supplies and adventuring gear. I got some rope. I don't think you'll want that. Okay.
Right, I'm a master juggler, so when
Really?
she's singing, I can juggle.
You can juggle.
Right?
What's juggle mean?
Well, you'll just have to wait and see, won't you?
Oh, okay. That could either be really awesome or really bad. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's
I'm just
do
kidding.
it.
I'm just kidding. The worst thing that'll happen is he'll just be like, "No, I'm not going to give you one of my potions." You'll be fine. Yeah, let's do it. So you guys walk into the shack and you see like it's dark in there. There's like one small lantern hanging with like a very very dim candle that's about to flicker out, like hardly letting any light in here. Um, there's like ventilation in the roof, but a lot of things are like blocked off, and you can see why because there's like various like molds and fungi growing and moss hanging and all sorts of just like weird, like the weirdest things nature has to offer are all in here. He's got stripped bark, he's got all sorts of ingredients, and the smell hits you guys all at once. uh and he kind of like this tall dark-skinned orc with the white face paint turns around as you all enter, and you hear Skoden say something in Orcish, uh and he's like, yeah. He says, if you got something to offer, now's the time to do it.
Oh,
What are you selling?
Um, Skoden translates, and Jurtar kind of regards you and like goes back and turns to a shelf, and you can see there's several of these small glass vials, maybe 2 inches, some to 4 inches tall, with all various types of liquids and different things in it. And you see he grabs 3 of them and puts them down on the counter between you and him. And you see he indicates each of these 3 potions, and Odin translate. The first one, Odin says, he says, this one is a potion for power, and it's a dark orange liquid that seems to be like smoking, like in the space between the potion and like the cork stopper. It's just like filling with smoke, like fiery, dark smoke, and almost seems to be like trying to seep out of like the sides of the cork. The second one, he says, this is a potion for strength, and it's like a gray, murky, barely like translucent liquid, that you, as he kind of holds it up, you swear you can see what looks like a giant fingernail floating inside of it. Um, and the third one, he says, is a potion for courage. And that one, it's in like a blue potion that looks almost like it's boiling. It's like bubbling over and steaming a little bit. It makes like a faint, like gurgling sound.
Right, Star, you want to
oh, of
attempt
course.
our show?
So
Is
I'm
it
gonna
is this
need.
a dirt floor?
Yep, yes, yeah. It's the ground, I think, is the
Okay.
floor.
I'm
Sure.
gonna grab 3 handfuls of dirt and fill up my 3 leather pouches.
Love it. That's awesome.
Yes.
Make
All
your
right.
own little hacky sacks.
Yeah.
A lively tune then, Kitlin?
Right, that sounds good.
Okay.
But no goofing
Uh,
around, no effing and jeffing. He says
no
we have to be
nonsense.
serious.
Effing and Jeffin.
I love it.
Professional.
Staris and Kitland, I'm gonna need you each to.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That is insane.
It was lively.
You
Staris was like trying to get the rhythm of Kitlin
you
was
see like
throwing and juggling.
Yes.
the most like stoic, most like serious, like witch doctory, shaman, like voodoo, uh, orc just like watch you guys as you pull out your instrument. What instrument are you playing, sir? So are you on the lute or the lyre?
We're gonna say the lute.
loot. You pull out the loot, and Kitlin begins to like juggle these sacks. Well, like it's nothing crazy, Kitlin. You know, you're not doing like a bunch of crazy tricks, but you are juggling. You don't, you know, you maybe drop it like one time, but you're able to cover like really nice and keep it going. And you watch this guy just like stare at you without any expression the entire time you perform. And this goes on for how long, Staris? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 5 minutes?
Well, it's couple minutes, yeah.
Yeah, a couple
Two,
of
three
so
minutes, yeah.
about 3 minutes go by of this happening, and you finish. You know, Kaylin, you're a little out of breath. You know, Stars, you're a little out of breath. You were maybe like,
Smiling.
you know, singing and smiling and really performing it, and just like nothing. And there's like a good 5 seconds of just like tense silence after you finish this performance, and then all of a sudden, this orc who has been so stoic, so serious, so unmoving this whole time, who's like hasn't smiled in the last 40 years, just the biggest grin from ear to ear. You can see his teeth. He's smiling with all of his teeth. He just starts like howling with like laughter and clapping. Even Scoden's like, "Holy shit!" Just absolutely loves it. And after like laughing so hard, he's crying for a good like 5 minutes. It takes longer for him to recover than it did for you to do your performance. He speaks to Skoden and he says,
I think he liked it.
for that they can have all three, and offers you all.
Nice.
Many thanks.
And Skoden translates. He says, "I have not known a joy like that in my bones for a long time. Thank
Oh,
you."
hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is excellent.
So you can add, and now I will.
Cyrus
I'm just gonna-
gives Kitlin a fist bump.
Fist bump?
Pow.
So yeah, Kitlin or Staris.
I think
Either
Stars,
or.
you did more of the work. Why don't you hang on to these?
Staris, for right now,
Uh-huh.
until you can further identify what these potions do, just write. You have one potion of power, one potion of strength, and one potion of courage. If you have other ways of like further identifying what they are, I can tell you like mechanically what they do. But for now, just know you can drink them. They're pretty small, so I'll say as a bonus action.
Mhm.
And these can either be like a let's see what this does, or you can try to take some time and identify it and learn what they do, and I'll give you the details later.
Very
I
cool.
can cast Identify.
There we go.
Exactly.
Cyrus remembers that Dominic can cast Identify. And makes note to ask him later.
So even after all this, you guys still have a little bit of time before Kitlin's bow will be ready. No sign of Dominic yet, as he's still out exploring. So as you're kind of just like wandering around the village and Skoden showing you around some things, is there anything specifically about this village you guys would, Staris, you and Kitlin would like want to do or explore or try to learn more about?
No, singing Kumbaya sounded like fun. I'd like to learn some orcish music.
Cool. Yeah, Skoden says, um, most of the music, he explains to you like most of the music they do is like ceremonial. So they'll do it during like, uh, you know, unions. They'll do it during like funerals. They'll do it during, like, you know, births, usually like when like, you know, a new, you know, child is born within the tribe. So like in music, it's usually like more communal, it's more spontaneous. They don't have like songs. It's a lot of drumming, it's a lot of like singing and chanting, a lot of horns generally, and their music's very loud. So like it's really impressive to see it contained.
Mhm.
So specifically in one person and so controlled, because their music is very uncontrolled. It's very passionate. It's very much just like what they feel and what they express in that moment. So I think your music is really,
Ah.
really, really unique to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Fascinating.
and yeah, as you guys are just kind of hanging out, he pulls out a unique set of dice and just kind of like fiddling with it in his hands a little bit. And he looks to you, Gitlin and Staris and Gundren, and he says, "Hey, we still got a little bit more time to kill. Do any of you fancy gambling?"
All right, I do. Let's have it.
Well, we have a game we like to play. It's called Paza. Um, we all wager something. Winner takes all. I've got this, and he pulls out a rusty bag and sets it on the ground in front of you.
A rusty bag?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a quick break
Both
and
of
say
you.
goodnight to my kids real quick. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Okay.
You got it.
Nice.
Jeez. Stars with the big rolls.
Staris,
Yeah, saving us.
you kind of like look towards the bag, and he cinches it tight with like a small rope around it. He goes, no, it's a surprise bag. But you are able to see just before he closes it tight what looks like a bunch of like furry balls, for lack of a better word, like about the size of ping pong balls. But they look like it was like coated in fur, almost like it was like a small animal, like balled up. But you don't see it moving or making any sounds. So you don't think it's like anything alive, but that it just kind of looks like small tufts of animal fur inside the bag.
I'm
And
gonna
he kind of like raises
pull
an eyebrow.
Staris aside. Can I do that and whisper to her real quick?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah,
What's
you
up,
like
man?
take a few steps away.
Yeah. All right, I think I want those furry balls. Is there any way you could give me some guidance or big me up a little bit?
Yeah. I think there's something I can help because I don't really have too much to offer. Kitland, good luck. And Stars cast Bardic Inspiration.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. So you see Gundren is does Gundren have on his person? Gundren is offering up you see that he's got several really ornate rings on his finger, and he pulls off one ring with like a like purple, like beautiful purple gemstone on it, and sets it down. And Skoden kind of picks it up, looks at it, and after a minute, she says, "Yeah, that'll work." Sets it down. So Gundren has decided that he wants to play whatever this game Aza is. So, Hitlin, are you playing, and Saris, you're just gonna watch?
Yeah, Stars is gonna watch.
Okay, Hitlin, what do you wager?
Right, I've had these my whole life, and they're the most important items I own. And I'll wager my 3 juggling pouches.
Oh my god, I hate you. I'll let you decide, and I'll believe whatever you choose, Kitlin. But roll me either a persuasion or a deception check.
All right.
Oh my god!
Oh,
What is it? There's just so many that ones. What is
You see, Skoden like picks up his gray sack, and he's like, "If you don't want to play, it's okay."
All right.
it?
I've got this. It's just, I really don't want to lose it. I'll
Pamela.
pull out a. How about a blue ribboned fire arrow with the addition of the harpy feathers, like the
Oh,
the
cool.
iridescent black feathers on the tail.
Awesome. He'll look at those and
Just one.
he looks at Pat and like whistles and he goes, "Did you make this?
Right, yeah, I did.
This is beautiful."
It's what caused that big explosion last night, actually.
His eyes go wide and he goes, "This will absolutely work."
Mhm.
And we will go ahead and take our break there while Dominic finishes saying goodnight to his kids, unless he's already snuck back in.
I snuck back in.
Nice. But I need to pee. So let's
Yeah,
take
no, it's
Yeah,
fine.
quick
the
All
sun
break.
good.
probably needs to go outside too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take like 10-ish minutes and then everyone cool to go to like 10:30-ish tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. All right, sweet. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay.
All righty.
Got it.
Bird up.
Right up.
Dude, I can't believe you freaking got Talon back.
I got it back. Woo!
I was like, all right, with the natural 20, and then the next really, really high investigation roll. And then it becoming like a skill challenge because it could have broken.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
after
yeah.
trying to get it free.
Well, and that's why, like, when the rock was being thrown, I was like, "Ooh, that's not gonna be great. Let's not do that." But got it back.
Very sure. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Now we have
I
the
honestly thought
gambling.
Talon was a lost cause, but worked out.
That was the only one that was going to be recoverable because of just like the nature of it being such a well-crafted blade.
Yeah.
But then it was like, I mean, if he says he looks for it and then he like keeps it up and rolls really high, he could potentially find it. And all three of those things happen. So well done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was. I mean, just like we talked about earlier, it was going to be one of those like, either I find a weapon that's going to be sort of comparable, or I'm going to be using these powers way more often.
Well, because that's the other thing too, is like if you didn't roll well enough or Eladri like failed the skill check, then you go back and then because it's like you spent hours doing this already. So if you didn't do this, then you also missed out on your chance to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. To
it's not like
learn.
you said, hey, get me a like short sword in case I can't find it.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
And I
So
didn't get a
like,
chance. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I think Dominic was more in like, I really want to find my blade. I need my blade. So yeah, I'm so happy that I got it back. I think you probably would have like picked it up and like reverently been like, "Welcome home, old friend." Yeah,
But it
this is fun.
sucks like having that feat and not being able to benefit from it too.
Which one?
The finesse fighting or whatever it is.
Oh
you have,
yeah. Vex fighting and finesse fighting. Yeah, I don't have a finesse weapon. I can't do anything with it. So
the duelist, defensive duelist, I think.
yeah, yeah, that would have sucked if I didn't have that. I got the feat and I was like, well, this sucks.
Womp womp.
Yeah, now I'm just a monk. Hooray. Oh, but yeah, I'm excited. This that new mechanic, dude, the insanity, that's fun. I like that. I was like,
Yeah,
cool.
that's really bad to get a fail so early in the campaign because it doesn't take many.
Yeah. And so +2 to Bloodlust, so it's an 8 right now. So does that mean it's going to be a 6?
No, that means it's a 10.
It's a 10. Okay, cool. That's why I wanted to make
It's a
sure which
10.
one it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that
And then
triggers when
I'm lower than half health.
you're bloodied and
Yep.
someone else is bloodied near and you smell blood
If
nearby, right?
somebody is near me that's also blooded, I get a -1, so like it adds another 1.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
Yeah.
I forgot
So
what I
for
made up.
within, and it's within 60 feet, which is wild. That's a huge range.
Well, you can smell really good.
Yeah, I can smell. I
Like
got
shark in the
nose.
water, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Blood in the water.
And I think it's only companions.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm ready for it. Let's do this shit. I'm ready to go insane.
Right, because it's like if it's not like if it's the other people, you just go after them. You know what I mean? Like
Correct. Yeah.
is that there's no reason to compel you to.
Yeah, of course it's not going to be the other people.
It's just like the more damage you take and the more stress you're under, the harder it is to, as you start to like see red.
Yeah,
The
keep your
harder
composure.
it becomes to differentiate.
Yeah, between friend and foe.
Yeah.
Yep. Get it. I'm looking forward to this. Ready for my next insanity check.
So Dre is walking the dog, but as soon as she just came back in. I'm gonna say as soon as Abby goes back, we can dive right back in.
He's back.
I'm ready.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, I hear her coming in, and she can hear me talking. So, Bernie, As you approach the Bone Temple, the Bone Garden, if you will. Oh, Bone Garden. I missed that restaurant. You walk in, you see there's just towers of these skulls. And Sutha explains that, and all of them orc skulls, you can tell just looking at them, that these are literally their ancestors. And this is what she means, or what she meant when she said she carried them with you. She says, we know what little we know about the tree from them. You speak to them. You asked me if I spoke Druidic. This is one of the ways I know how to speak the language.
That's incredible. So, are you saying that the stories have been passed down, of course, but are you saying you always also have a way to speak to them directly now?
Yes. Would you like to?
I would, yes.
She begins chanting, and when she chants, it's in Druidic, and you feel it. You feel it in the wind and in the earth and in these towering sculptures around you. And she begins to cast Speak with Dead spell. Uh, and as she does, she guides you in it. Do you chant with her?
I do, yeah. I think Barney starts off slow, quietly, and then, yeah, and then is right there with her as she starts to understand the meaning.
And yeah, and as you understand the language too, and follow it, and it's different but similar, right? Like there's druidic magic that's similar, but some of the motions you just feel like the difference between the cultures,
Mhm.
but there's enough that you're able to connect to it, and you start to feel connected to all of these skulls, to all of these spirits, and you start to hear these skulls chanting along with the both of you in Druidic. And as the spell is cast, you cast Speak with the Dead,
Cool.
and I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on Roll20. I think I know how to do that. No, I do not. Okay. So this is obviously a modified version of this spell.
Mhm.
Normally, the spell is restricted on corpses that have only died within the last 10 days.
Mhm.
But this is a really holy, sacred place, and you're casting it kind of in tandem with someone to amplify the power of the spell. And as you cast it, you feel connected to generations and generations and generations of orcs that have come before Sutha and have traveled these lands and have traded in these stories and have like learned the histories of people passing through the ages. You can ask these ancestors 5 questions, Bernie. What do you
Woo.
ask them?
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Uh,
Welcome to my dilemma. That shit sucks.
yeah. Oh, well, I think Barney just kind of thinks to herself, connecting with all these different spirits and ancestors. And first and foremost, she just kind of speaks to them. I, I'm honored and humbled to be in your presence. Sutha has invited me here, and I can't say that I'm worthy, but if there's any knowledge that you can share with me, I will take that and I will pass that along to my people so that your message and our message may be shared together. There is a great
Bernie,
disease.
before I think you can continue, they respond because I think you technically asked a question.
Oh shit! What?
saying if there is any like thing you can impart, I'll gladly take it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or and I don't know if I'm worthy, something along those lines. And they interrupt you and they say, "You are a daughter of light. There is no one more worthy than you."
The light that you're speaking of. Where does it come from?
A being of light once walked this earth. There are some who call this being a god. This being was made of light, like you. They were the sower of the seeds, out of which bloomed the astral trees.
Astral trees. Uh, astral trees. That's what they're called. Amazing. Uh, uh, this being of light. Where did they go? Why did they leave?
All the worlds were fractured, leading into one another. The trees brought stability. Their roots grow beyond this plane and into the ones beyond. It is what holds our entire world together and keeps it in balance. When the planes were separated, these beings left, as all things were sent back to their own planes, no longer able to interfere.
These. We. My friend Dominic recently went to another plane, we think, and he met something that claimed to be a god that was returning. It had stars in the holes of its eyes. And it spoke as if it had a desire to do bad things to our world and our plane. Do you know anything or any god that is like this entity that he experienced?
You describe the first, Chaos, long dead, no longer a god, now a prison for something worse.
Is it?
That doesn't sound good. My tree, Carrickdroth, the place that is my home, the light that used to shine is fading. There's some sort of disease or rot that's taken hold in its roots and is climbing up its great trunk. We don't know what to do about it. I'm on a journey to find some answers, but maybe you could help me. How do I return the light to my tree and the health to my people?
You already know the answer to this.
I don't. I really don't.
And the voices are gone.
Please,
No.
I'm not. I could ask another way. And Bernie kind of gets flustered and just takes a few steps back.
Jitha grabs you and like holds you, and like the whole like world vanished as this ritual took place, and you could feel all of these skulls like talking to you directly, speaking druidic, all of these voices talking at once, hundreds, if not thousands of years, which is impossible to even wrap your head around, of generations of stories and wisdom all in this moment shared with you, things that don't quite make sense, names that haven't been uttered in over a millennia have just been spoken into your mind. And she grabs you and she says, "Hey, it's okay, I'm here, it's okay, take a deep breath."
Yeah, sorry, that was a lot, but uh, I'm trying to be grateful, Sutha. They shared so much, but also so little. The most important question I waited until the very last to ask, and I feel like it got me no closer to the answer that I seek.
The spirits can sometimes seem withholding at first, but it's not their nature to withhold. It's the thing about stories is they can only share what they know is true. Beyond that, sometimes the threads haven't fully woven themselves. I'm sorry.
No,
I really wanted to help.
no, that was incredible. I can't have asked for a more valuable experience. I can't say thank you enough. You have nothing to apologize for. Not only did you change the course of our relationship between my friends and your beautiful village, but you're here offering your ways and your wisdom to me, and I can't repay you for that, Sutha.
Actually, I think you can.
Please,
You're
tell me.
Well, don't be so eager. You and your friends spoke of the threat of the Pale Elves and of the, well, we'll say, ambition of the goblins. Um, we have been here at this tree maybe 4 generations, and while we feel connected to it, shepherds of it in a way, we're also nomads at heart.
Mm.
We know that we need to challenge certain traditions. We know the elders have sensed something that have caused them to act with more passion than open-mindedness. Um, my partner and I, we are debating on whether or not our people should continue to stay here or if we should into our nomadic ways. And I was hoping you might have some insight into this and could help guide our path.
My people were never nomadic. I suppose we were when we first fled the underground. But we've been with Carrick Droth at Droth Clusdul for generations now. Oh, I can't speak to the importance of a no-bad life, as I don't come from that. In our village, the elders' wisdom and advice and concern is all taken into consideration. But in the same way that when a child comes up and says something very obvious about a situation that gives insight into it that you hadn't necessarily thought about. Does that make sense? It's valuable information in both regards, young and old. But the people that are really living it and there in the moment, trying to make change, trying to move things forward, I think should have the most say. You and your partner are wise and strong in your commitment to your village and each other. It's impressive. I think you got to hold on to that above all. Trust yourselves and trust each other.
Thank you. Thank you for your words. Bernie, the ritual last night, not the banishment ritual performed by the elders, that should have never happened and happened without the chief's consent or knowledge. The one before, the trial of light. To us, fire is how we best connect with nature. And when we burn the cones, the fumes that are released when we inhale them, they connect us to a nature in a way none of our ancestors experienced before we came to Orzalovak. What it reveals in us is not just our connection to nature, but our connection to the very light that connects these trees that we believe holds the entire universe together. The light that was emitted from you is unlike anything we have ever seen before. Ernie, we grew up listening to stories of a being made of pure light that planted these trees. That's all I could think of when I saw you, shining that way. There is something inside of you that is magnificent and wild and powerful.
You know, part of me wants to laugh and part of me wants to cry and now part of me kind of just wants to throw up.
No pressure.
No, it's not that I don't appreciate your words and your kindness, and I just, when I say I don't know what to do next, you know, here I stand trying to give you some advice, but to be honest, I'm lost myself. And this light that I carry, I feel like it's the light of my people and of my tree, and if I don't figure out what's happening soon, it might snuff out. I hope that I can take this light and do what I'm meant to do with it. You understand?
I do, yes. If us here can ever help ease your burden in any way, you are always welcome. And she hugs you.
Barney just completely embraces her back, and I think, you know, a few like tears kind of well up in her eyes, but she doesn't let them fall, you know. She's just kind of like blinks them out and hugs her tight.
She's a strong dwarf, totally.
Yeah.
I think you guys share a moment for a while, before eventually, you know, just kind of in silence, just kind of sharing the weight and the burden of all of this, and the heaviness of this before you eventually begin making your way to walk back towards the village. Bernie, you can now cast Speak with Dead once per long rest without needing any material components or using a spell slot.
Cool!
Yay!
You may then cast it subsequently after that by using spell slots if you have them. But keep in
Cool.
mind, it does require a third level spell slot to cast. It is a third level spell.
Cool.
So you can cast it once per day for free, and then anytime after that using a third level or higher spell slot.
Yay, that's cool.
Woohoo!
Hell yeah,
See?
that's awesome.
Um, so really quick, Hitland and Gundren, you guys are playing a game called Paz, and now I have a bunch of rules for this, and we can play it out, but I think we're gonna play it like a quickened version of it, and just have like a winner keeps all. So, Hitland, or rather Joe, are you familiar with the dice game Mexico? So it's a really simple game that you play with 2d6, and you're basically trying to get the best hand, kind of like you would in, poker or any other gambling card game. So the best hand you can possibly get. Sorry, I'm grabbing for my dice because I realized I haven't needed to roll anything except for the random d20. The best hand you can get is a 2 and a 1, a 21. And so yeah, so the way the dice works, like when you read them, is you roll 2 dice and you look at them and you make a 2-digit number based on what you roll. So if I roll 2 4s, that's a 44. If I roll a 5 and a 4, it is a 54. You always put the highest number in the 10th spot. So a 2 and a 1 is like the best hand you can get. That's a 21. And then it's doubles after that. So 21 is the best hand. Then it's 66, 55, 44, 33, 22, and 11. And then after that, it's like you're high. So then it'd be like 6
Yeah,
5, 6
yeah.
So
I got
what
you.
happens is you'll to start off a game, everyone rolls a d6. Highest roller goes first. Whoever goes first, they can roll their 2d6 up to 3 times. So if they roll it once and they love it, they can stop. If they hate it, they can keep going 3 times. Once the first person locks in, every player after that can only roll as many times as the first player did to try to get a better hand than them.
Gotcha.
Normally you would start with like 5 chips and like loser would like lose a chip each round. I think
Yeah,
we'll just
I know
start
this.
with
I
like
know this game actually. I love this game.
perfect. Love
Yeah.
it. So we're just gonna start with
But
we'll do.
mine is like there's a lot of lying involved. It's called cheating max.
Oh, interesting. So do you have a way to like keep the
You
dice
just
concealed and then you
yeah, you
reveal it
just
at the
hide the
end?
dice and then you say and then you
Oh
pass it to the
yeah,
next
yeah.
person,
Oh,
and
okay,
then
cool.
they have yeah.
I want to add that rule in. Then I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, we'll say that the dice are concealed. Um, and yeah, you can totally lie about what you have or what you don't have. And then I'll say if you want to try to like roll a sleight of hand and like physically change a number on a die or re-roll a die, you could maybe try that once or twice. But if you get caught, then the game is over and it'll just end, right?
Okay.
So up for grabs is a ring, one of your arrows, and this random bag of whatever. So we'll all roll a d6 to see who goes first. Who wants to play Eladri or Staris? No, you're there. You're kind of hanging out with them. So yeah, Eladri, do you want to play for Gundren? And roll for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. So we will start off. Everyone roll a d6 to see who goes first. I got a 1.
Yeah.
Not me.
I got a 6.
Okay.
Alright.
Um,
There you go.
that's weird. The
Okay.
D6s don't show up in roll 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Yep.
What'd you get, Eladri?
I got a 3.
Okay, so we're gonna go Kitland, Eladri, or I'm sorry, Kitland, Gundren, played by Dylan, and then Scared.
So how am I gonna say what I rolled, like what I actually rolled, or am I trying to just say that
I think
I
you
think we should take out the hidden thing. It's gonna be too hard, right?
Okay,
Like
yeah, let's just
if
take it
you
out
already
for
have
now.
Yeah, I think
And
the
we'll
hidden thing would be good in person, but over the internet
Yeah.
it doesn't really
Absolutely.
work out too well.
There you go. Yeah, we'll add
Yeah.
that when we meet in person. I love that.
Yeah.
For our casino session.
Yeah.
Never winter, here we come.
Let's go.
Okay, so it's Caitlin, Gundren, and it's good. All right, so Caitlin, yeah, just roll your 2d6 and you can go up to 3 times.
Okay. 53, right?
Okay.
I'll go again. Boy, 31, the lowest you can do. I'll go one more time.
That's the worst.
Alright, and 63. All right.
Okay, that's not bad. All right, Gungeon, you can roll it to 3 times.
Alrighty.
That's not good for me, though. Come on, Gudrun.
All right.
55. All right.
55. We'll take that.
Ooh.
Okay. You stopping there?
Stopping at 55.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I got a 51 on my first roll. That's not going to do it. That's a 63. Uh-oh. Nope, that's not going to do it. His doubles are better. And that is not good enough. So Gundren wins the first round. And then, what is it? Lowest roll loses a chip and is first to roll. So I ended because I kept rolling on a 34, which I think, nope, 43, because it can't be 34, which was lower than you, wasn't it, Kidlin?
Yeah, it's 63.
Yep. So Skoden loses a chip. He's out 1.
How many chips
All
do we
right.
have? 2?
Yeah, we'll say 2.
Okay.
Make it go like click. All right, so that means Skoden goes first. And I'll do it live so you guys can see it.
Oh, nice.
So that's a
43.
43. That's garbage.
Yep.
54.
54 is also
Oh.
garbage. And 53 is one worse, so 53. You got 3
Yeah.
rolls.
33. I think I'll just stop there.
33. Yeah, doubles.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
pretty
good.
good. And then Gundren.
Yeah, I'll roll in
You still get up to 3 because that's how many.
D20. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, 52. 32.
Not great.
Yep. All right.
61.
61. Still
61.
not. So
Nothing
that's
good.
still Skoden the lowest, so he is out. And I think Gundren and Kitlin, you kind of have a moment. As you guys eyeball each other. And are able to roll out the game. Let's just do like best of 1 roll really quick, Kitlin.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Mm.
Ooh, an 11.
11.
Oh God.
Yeah.
31. Of course.
Ah.
So we'll say Gundren like ultimately ends the pot, but it's a good kind of fun time for all to be had. And as you're walking back towards the smith who was working on your bow, Gundren slips you the bag and says, "It was always about having better odds." And he kind of slides his ring back onto his own finger and hands you back your arrow as well. And you can add a rusty bag. Let me make sure I'm saying the right color, actually. So I don't give you the wrong thing when we false over. Yeah, a rust bag of tricks to your inventory,
Rust.
Kitlin.
Okay.
And I am
Rust bag
so
of
glad
tricks.
you got this magical item.
No.
And you get back to the smith. It's been maybe a couple of hours. He's done. Your bow has been repaired. It now functions the way it intended to do. And I'll say it's actually a little bit better. So now, it originally could break on a 1, 2, or 3, I believe, or was it a 1, 2, 3, or 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
So now it can only break on a 1, 2, or 3 because it's a little bit more reinforced.
Nice.
Nice. Upgrade.
Yep, very good.
And you all kind of make it back to the village around, roughly the same time. And it is getting kind of like mid-ish afternoon, a little bit late. And At this point, so that Lortar has kind of been, you've kind of seen him and noticed him around the village. He's kind of like stopped and like in Orcish has like taken a moment to introduce you to various villagers, and they've met and they've given you some food, and some have been kind of interested in meeting you, and some have been a little standoffish. And as it's getting kind of later in the afternoon and you guys all reconvene, Sutha offers an invitation for you to stay as long as you like, but she knows that you need to get, on your way as soon as possible as well. And has offered, Jortar has actually offered to take you back to the spot where he originally found you, if you guys would like to resume your journey back to Echo Cave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we reunited with Dom now?
I think,
Yes, I think
Dom has caught
everybody's
up with
back.
you guys, and Bernie has caught up with you guys as well. So yeah, Dom and Eladri are back.
Dom, I think we've acquired quite a few new magical items.
Oh yeah? Well, I found this little guy in a tree. And I'll kind of unsheath Talon again.
All right.
Ooh.
How
Magical items,
how
you
does
say?
your yeah?
I can do
know
it
that you
once
you
a
can
day.
identify them. Just one item.
One item once a day. So every long rest, we can get one to figure out which one. So whichever one you want to choose first. What are they exactly?
Well, we've got these. Star's got those 3 potions, and I've got
Sure
this
did.
rust bag of tricks.
And I would say,
Illusions, Michael.
Caitlin, you could spend like an hour attuning with the rust bag of tricks to kind of
Ooh.
better understand it as well.
Okay.
Well, I can do that anytime. I guess our biggest question is, Bernie, did you find anything you needed? Any answers to your questions?
I have got quite a bit of information. I ended up talking to a bunch of dead people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. The dead ancestors of this tribe told me quite a bit. Dominic, I've got some information about the being that you saw.
Oh.
Its name is Chaos.
Chaos.
Chaos, CHAOS or
AOS. Chaos.
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 Chaos. Its name is
Chaos would have been dope though.
Yeah. Retcon.
Yeah.
Aeon. Interesting.
Eos. Apparently, it used to be. Long story short, the trees that I come from came from a giant being of light that used to walk this planet, and the light came from the astral plane, essentially. And anyways, Eos, I believe, was one of these beings, and he did something horrible. He's imprisoned now. I don't know why, but I don't think it's something that we want to be messing around with.
I don't think we want to mess with anything. I think it's already messing with us. Or at least me. Or possibly Ku? It was from his book. I mean, there's still so many answers we don't know, and we still need to find Ku. Ku is alive. Somewhere.
Aye.
More questions than answers, unfortunately, when it comes to the gods, as it normally does. Well, how does everybody feel? I'm rested. I think probably getting on the road and getting to the cave is going to be in our best interest, unless we want to stay another night and start first thing in the morning.
I'd like to get on the road. I think the faster we can get to this cave, the more, I don't know, the closer we'll get to answers.
I agree with Bernie.
I agree. I just have to put it out there that the night brings all kinds of things to play. So we just need to be on our guard, is what I'm saying, if we're gonna go out.
Aye.
And
I
we'll
think
go.
we can do that.
Naturally.
All right, if that's the
As
consensus with
you
everybody.
as you all kind of start to pack up your things, choosing to have Rotar take you back to where he found you tonight. Is that the plan? Or
I
not
think
tonight, but
that
like kind of now, and it will take a couple hours, so it'll start to be getting dark as you get back to where he found you.
correct. I
Right.
did want to try and see the chief one last time before we left and
Yeah.
have like a. I didn't get to actually say anything because he kind of did his thing and bounced.
Oh yeah, that's there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of duties.
Yeah, of course, duty.
Yeah, I think there's kind of a moment where, as you're all like kind of getting your stuff together, and you probably left some stuff at their, you know, their home, so you kind of go back up to their, shelter or whatever to pack everything up. There's like a more kind of formal moment for them to say goodbye, and once more kind of offer you some stuff. Fill your water. You want to like add like a bottle or two of wine to your inventory, refill your
Yeah.
rations, things
Yeah.
like that. You could do so now. I
Okay.
think Bernie, you are gifted. I think you had made mention of your quarterstaff at one point. I
Yeah.
think you're gifted a really nice quarterstaff
Sweet.
that replaces the one you lost. And yeah, the chief is there, Dominic, if you kind of wanted to have your moment with him.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Barney, do you mind translating, or maybe Skoden?
Aye, I've got your back.
All right. And I'll go up to the chief and kind of put my fist on my chest, kind of bow a little bit, kind of nod to him, and I'll just say, Chief, I understand the burdens of leadership and the decisions that have to be made. So please understand there is no ill will from me to you about what happened. I get it. I don't know what I would do if I was in your shoes. This is my family that I am going to protect with all my power. And I just wanted to say thank you for your hospitality, and that you do not need to feel that you owe us anything or owe me anything in particular.
I think he extends like an arm, and you guys do like the predator handshake a little bit.
Yeah.
Soldiers handshake, and kind of pulls you in. He looks at you, and he, translated through Bernie. He tells you, take care of yourself. You and your family are welcome in this village. Yeah, and I think like kind of that's it. Just like short and sweet, but you can tell that um, he's moved by your words, and that he does have like a respect for you and for the bond that you have with this group. And I think Sutha approaches you, Bernie, um, and she has just like kind of like a little gift basket of like some food to take with you, and it's kind of got these like floral arrangements around it, and just for your travels, stay safe and good luck, Bernie. And she kind of pulls you in, and in Druidic, um, she whispers to you, and you can like feel it in like the wind and in the
Mhm.
branches.
Mhm.
And he says, "Your home afflicts it. It must come from below. I fear the power that binds our planes, that keeps them separate. I fear it's waning. I fear that this is what the elders were afraid of, and I fear that this is what drove them to act so irrationally. Something is happening to our world. Be careful."
Bernie embraces her back and kind of pulls away and looks at her and nods her head. I promise that we're going to do our best to fix it. And whatever we can. For all of us.
Miles, sensing your conviction, and Jarek and Skoden are there ready to take you guys back to the woods, back to where you found you. You know, it's going to take a while, like about 45 minutes or so to walk. You'll just be at the point of beginning to lose sunlight, so you'll have enough time to kind of set up your camp and begin to set off on the next day from where you basically would have ended your nights last night's, essentially losing 24 hours on your journey. And if unless there's anything else anybody else wants to do, you will be led off into the woods back to the initial spot.
Cool.
That
Okay.
was awesome. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
I like it.
you make it back into the woods after hiking for a while. You say your goodbyes to Skoden and Jarok, who is still, you know, very stern and expressionless, but can't help but like smile at Kitlin and Staris before leaving. Um, and you guys kind of have the woods to yourselves. Um, and as you're setting up camp for the night, is there anything else that you guys would like to do um,
I actually
before
have
we break for the evening?
one more quick thing, just a quick note.
Yeah,
As we were starting to be led out of the village and like kind of
totally,
looking
sure.
back, Bernie realizes something and like freezes and she's like, give me just one moment. And then she's gonna reach into her pocket and run back to Sutha and pull out one of the little grass weaving bracelets that she's been working on and kind of like place it in her hand and close it and give her a smile and a wink and then just like run back to the party.
You see Sutha, like as you get back to the party and turn back around, you see Sutha's actually putting it on her wrist and smiles. Um, yeah, very cool. As you leave a lasting impression on the orcs of Orzel Ovak. As
Nice.
you guys
Hell yeah.
begin setting up your camp for the night, we will go ahead and end our session here and pick up as you guys are setting up camp and getting ready to take your long rest. But I will say before we break, um, Gundren kind of finds a clearing to like set his bedroll down, and as he does, he sees something and he calls you over, Bernie, and he's kind of like laughing to himself, and he says, "Check this out." And he shows you one of those wayfinding stones left by his brothers that you all had missed because of you know, the bears that came and snuck up.
Yeah.
Um,
uh, and it's a
Mhm.
message, and he's kind of teaching you to like read these little hidden notes that his brothers have been hiding. And it's a message left from his brothers that say, uh, "Caution, caution, bro, orcs ahead."
Well, isn't that a shit?
Wish we'd seen this last night.
I
Um,
that's
we'll go ahead
fantastic.
and call it there and pick up.
Really quickly, Tom,
Yeah.
do you want to use your
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I can use identify on
Right.
one of those while we're
Oh, yeah.
doing everything. So
Potion of
Okay.
power,
Uh,
potion of strength, potion of courage.
you tell me.
Do potion of courage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I cast, kind of sit on, clear some dirt out, put a little piece of, like my cape down or something like that, my hood, so it's not going to get all over the ground, and kind of.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say I sit on it.
Yeah, I sit on it, and that's how I learn now because it's a
Yeah.
useful
Absorb the information
identify.
through my
Yeah,
butt.
yeah. that's how I learn
Sorry.
things. And then I'll just kind of kneel next to it, and you'll see like the red swirling, black and red kind of magic swirl up, and my eyes kind of go red as I open them, and I cast Identify on this potion.
Okay, cool. And I'm sorry, tell me one more time which potion you chose.
Courage.
Potion of Courage. You take this blue potion, and it's kind of steaming and sizzling and whistling and fizzing as it bubbles as though it's boiling. And you take some time to investigate it. And as the magic flows through you and connects with this potion, you break down the alchemical ingredients, you break down what it does, and your mind jumps to a moment where Lorthar is alone or Jorok is alone in his shed, like mixing these potions and just like taking shots of them and kind of like feeling their effects to see what they do as he kind of self-tests on himself. And you feel the effects flow through him as he samples this particular potion, Dominic. And he feels like vigorous, like strengthens, like he's got more stamina and more energy, and just like his senses kind of sharpen, like he's a little bit better at everything. And you recognize this potion as a potion of heroism.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay. And so I kind of reiterate to everybody. I kind of say, Jorok's taking him, he's testing him on himself. Courage can be akin to heroes, strength, senses sharpening. I think this is the potion of heroism.
So if you drink this potion, you will gain 10 temporary hit points that last for 1 hour. And for that duration, you are under the effect of the bless spell. No concentration required. So you will add 1d4 to your attack rolls and your concentration saves. And I'll also say in this time, just real quick before we wrap, Caitlin, you can also take a moment, and I wanted to check. I don't think does it need attunement? It does not need attunement. This bag, as you kind of open it up, there's like several of like these furry, like small fuzzy objects. The bag itself only weighs about a half pound, but there's like 8 of these like little fuzzy objects. And just for fun, as you reach in and like kind of pull one out, roll me a d8.
Huh?
3.
A mastiff just like unfurls from the ball and like plops on the ground next to you with these like sloppy jowls and begins just like licking its paws.
What?
And you can use your action to pull a fuzzy object from the bag and throw it up to 20 feet. When the object lands, it transforms into a creature you determine by rolling a d8 and consulting the table corresponding to the bag's color. The creature vanishes at the next dawn or when it is reduced to 0 hit points. The creature is friendly to you and your companions, acts on your turn, and you can use your bonus action to command how the creature moves and what actions it takes on its next turn, or give it general orders such as attack your enemies in the absence of order. Once three fuzzy objects have been pulled from this bag, the bag cannot be used again until the next dawn. So as you like pull a little fuzzy ball out, a mastiff just like unfurls basically in your lap. This massive dog that's like 4 times the size of you, and it's just gonna be at camp now until dawn.
Oh my god, dude! You're gonna have like a whole army of familiars. What is this?
I'm gonna start shooting the fuzzy balls on the arrow.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Like
20
you
feet,
hated
120 feet.
Yeah, and like You hated being a cleric because having to like remember all this stuff. Now you're gonna have to like control 4 different things.
I know.
This is gonna be awesome.
And, like once Barney gets a few more levels, she's gonna be summoning a bunch of animals. We're just
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
fucking
dude.
stew.
It's just
Like,
the
30
zoo. We
levels.
just literally throw the zoo at people. Oh, that's amazing.
How many did you say were in there? How many fuzzy
There are
balls?
8 fuzzy balls, and you can
Okay.
use 3 fuzzy balls per day. And like, I think it's impossible, almost impossible to tell which ball is which, because they look
Okay.
all similar. So it is like a random chance each time.
Awesome.
That's great.
That's so awesome.
Hell
Hell
So-
yeah.
You guys want to know what the 8 animals it could be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so
I kind of want to surprise because I'm gonna be
Okay.
shooting
Oh,
these
fair
things
enough,
at-
fair
Oh,
enough.
fair enough. Yeah. No, it's on you to. Yeah, I'm good with the surprise.
okay,
That'd be
fair
fun.
enough.
Yep.
Well, it's Kitlin's item, so it stays a surprise.
There we go.
Amazing.
Hell yeah. I love that.
That's so great.
All right,
Cool.
y'all. It's
Oh, so much
10:21.
information.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
ah.
Bernie, if you want to, you and I can like link up on Discord or something, and I can like write all that out or clarify anything that you missed. But one thing I do want to just specify, because you did mention this specifically to the group, that something about when you described what you saw, the creature you saw, they named it Eos the First, and then they said specifically, no longer a god, now a prison.
Yeah.
So they didn't imply that Eos was
Oh.
in prison. They implied that it was a prison.
Whoa, crazy. Okay. Thank you for that
I
clarification.
just wanted to clarify that really quick.
No,
Because
that's
it's getting
awesome.
weird. It's getting really weird, y'all.
What the hell? That's crazy. Cool.
I'll hit y'all up soon about next date, but I think I'm pretty open on most Mondays. So hopefully
Same.
soon.
Yep.
I will
Yeah,
not
yeah, me
be
too. Cool.
available this coming Monday because kids are on spring break and we're out of town. But after that, I'm.
Good to know. Good to know. So
Nice.
probably in 2 Mondays from now.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sweet. Okay.
cool.
Love you guys.
Love you
Love
too.
you guys.
Love y'all.
So you
Bye.
can stay in chat or you
Awesome.
can go to bed.
I gotta go sleep.
I was
Sleep.
like, I'm
Good
gonna
night.
I'm
sleep.
so tired.
All right, bye, y'all.
Hey, bye, y'all.
Love you.
Night.
Love you,
Bye-bye.
love you.
Good shit, y'all.